living my dream. I gotta thank God and give him the glory, yeah. Came from the bottom, yeah, I paid the price, they couldn't afford it, I had it built from the ground, I never could let them destroy it, They said that they hard, they cut from my cloth, it's a hole in their story, yeah. I'm living my dream, I gotta thank God and give him the glory.
We're so glad you're here tonight to cheer on the Shiloh Christian Saints. Champion Stadium.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Champion Stadium for another season of Shiloh Christian football as the Saints get ready to kick off the 2026 season as they host the Chargers of Heritage Hall tonight. As you see Champion Stadium in the background on a sunny August evening, a little hot here as we welcome from Oklahoma City the Chargers of Heritage Hall as we get ready to go. I'm joined this year by my partner, as always, Cliff Anderson. And Cliff, as we go through and get ready for the kickoff season, it's fun to just be back. It's had a scrimmage last week against Bixby. We didn't just find anybody to scrimmage, found one of the best in the country to scrimmage. But it's fun to see the Saints back out in another year.
Absolutely. I mean, you love this time of year. You'd like to be a little bit cooler, but that's coming, Billy, as we know. But, yeah, August 28th, the start of the 38th season here for the Shiloh Christian Saints. And we say this at the beginning of every year. It's been an incredible run for this football program in the previous 37 years. Here we are in season 38, and just got an exciting season in the next 10 weeks in front of us here.
Well, we can't wait. Saints with 3 non-conference games before we jump into 7A play, which we'll talk a little bit more about that as the evening goes along. So earlier this week, we had a chance to sit down with head coach of the Saints, Tucker Barnard, talk a little bit about the 2026 Saints and a preview of Heritage Halls a little bit tonight. So we'll kick that for the Coaches Show with head coach Tucker Barnard.
This is the Coaches Show with Tucker Barnard.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Shiloh Christian Football as we've got the head coach of the Saints, Coach Tucker Barnard, as we get ready for the kickoff of the 2026 season. Saints kick it off tonight with Heritage Hall, but Coach, as we get ready for 2026, super exciting. Let's talk about 2025 a little bit. Fun year for us. Special one, night state championship in school history. Looking back, what's kind of your memory of last year?
Yeah, anytime we get a chance to talk about 2025 and the state championship, we're gonna do that. Man, just I just think back to those guys and you know, all the work that you put in and you know, a giant like Greenwood that everybody talked about, and whether or not we were had the ability to knock them off. And but the thing that I always go to kind of immediately is just the end of the game when the buzzer went off and you just see that the jubilation on everybody's face. You know, I mean, that's something you just don't ever forget. Like those kids, I don't know if they've ever smiled that big as they do in that night and that moment, and probably a lot of us too. So just that happiness, man.
Well, the booth was happy too. I think about mid fourth quarter, Cliff and I are just looking at each other like, we're going to do this, man. This is real. To go through. Hey, it's kind of second question as we kind of dive into it, Coach, a little bit. Big changes this year. We go to 7A in football. 7 of our 10 opponents we've never played before. As you kind of look at that, tell us what you're looking for in your non-conference with the 3 games: Little Rock Christian, Lincoln Christian, and of course Heritage Hall tonight.
Yeah, so well in the non-conference games we've seen 2 of them, right? Little Rock Christian and Lincoln Christian. We've played them each of my years here. We've lost them all to Lincoln Christian, so we haven't beat those guys yet. So great team down there. You know, I think what we know is we're going to have great football games, all 3 of those. I mean, Heritage Hall we're opening up with this week, and they just don't lose very much. You know, I don't know Coach's record. Coach Bogert's been there for 12 or 13 years, and I don't think he has as many losses as years he's been there, right? So they do an incredible job. You know, the Little Rock Christian game has been a tough one for us.
Yeah.
Been really challenging games. A couple of those kind of come right down to the wire. And then, like I say, the Lincoln Christian, you know, losing that one three years in a row, we kind of got that one marked. You know, that we need to operate a little better in that game. But you know, it's a different team every year, so you're just looking for growth. And making comparisons to how you feel coming out of a Bixby scrimmage. Okay, what does it look like week one? Do you feel like you're getting better? Are you making the same mistakes over and over again? We're just looking for improvement each and every week.
Coach Five News was here doing kind of a preview of the Saints a couple weeks ago, and your comment was, "Hey, Cole Creighton, best quarterback in the state." And we're kind of thinking about 26 and the storylines. You don't get a 4-year starter in high school football. Very much a rarity. Talk a little bit about Cole and what he brings to our team.
Yeah, Cole, he's a special kid, special football player. Just incredible work ethic. Great talent. I mean, he's a student of it as well. We obviously sit and meet and watch video and talk, and then he goes home and does the same thing with his dad. For hours, right? They study the tape, and he's a little bit of a perfectionist. And to be really transparent, I kind of try to rub some of that off of him a little bit, and want him to play free and do what comes naturally to him, because he's really talented and really instinctive, but he can do everything and make the deep throws as well as anybody I've ever been around. He's a great decision maker, a great leader. I mean, all the guys look up to him. They expect great things from him, and he expects great things from his teammates. And when you've got one of those guys that is one of your hardest workers and one of your best players, I mean, it's kind of cliche in football, but that's a guy that's easy to follow.
Yeah. Coach, sticking with the offense a little bit, tell us what it looks like on the offensive side of the ball this year.
Yeah, it starts with the quarterback position. We say that kind of thing a lot, but the offensive line, right? For since I've got here, one of the things that we've really wanted to do is improve the running game every year, every week, every day. We want to get better in the run game. We've got some linemen coming back that have got quite a bit of experience under their belts. We don't have a lot of them. There's it's a little bit of a place where we've got a little bit of a shortage is on the offensive and defensive lines, actually. But the guys that we have, they can play, they can block, and they're gritty and tough. And I'm excited about what they're going to do up front. Sticking with the run game, Max Eldridge and Charlie Creel, two returners that played a ton last year. I mean, obviously Griffin Mason is gone and moved on to college football, but I think those guys will play really well in that place. And then the wide receivers, Chandler Kemp and Zane Slider are out. Cohen Beach is back. Brody Francis is back. Silas Nance is going to play a lot of wide receiver. Tate Barner is going to play a lot of wide receiver. And then we've got a bunch of young guys. I mean, that we'll see how it works out. But Brody Haymond and Landon Sabatini and Weston Huckabee and who am I missing? Trey Folsom. Those guys are all really talented and did some really good things in junior high and JV the last couple of years. So, I don't know. I don't know what to expect, because I don't. Your point about we haven't played a lot of these opponents before, but I think as far as what we have, we feel pretty good about the guys we're going to put out there.
Coach, flipping over the other side of the ball, Coach Holly always brings the energy. What's his defense going to look like this year?
Man, more of the same. Those guys play with just an incredible passion. They're so much fun to watch, man. Get excited, watching. We'll sit in meetings and really I kind of laugh, because it's just fun. It's fun to watch them fly around the ball, and it's fun to watch them, trying to get a big hit and see if they can outdo each other, and just the effort that they take to the football. As you moved on to that last question, one guy that I forgot is Jake Bodenstein, and Jake's done a little bit of everything for a long time for us now, and he's at the fullback, and he'll have some things going on in the pass game, but he's been really good in the run game as well.
Coach, kind of wrapping it up here, Heritage Hall, a team we've not played before on a Friday night, but we played them in 7-on-7 a lot. They've been here last year. Their only loss of the season was to Lincoln Christian. They lost them in the playoffs and also in the regular season as well. So we have some things there we've seen with them. Talk a little bit about Heritage Hall. What do you expect from those guys? Watching film on them, I really thought, man, they look a lot like us.
Yeah, they do. They're really similar to us in a lot of ways. I mean, just the program and the success that they've had over the years. They don't lose very often. They've had a lot of continuity in the coaching staff. We've talked about it here that you can, you go all the way back to Malvern, you've been able to stay within guys that have been on staff and been Shiloh guys, and they're doing the same thing at Heritage Hall. They're talented like us. They're a smaller school like we are, play a lot of guys both ways, probably even more than we do. But man, they know how to win. That's the biggest thing. They play solid defense, and they've got a lot of variation of things that they're doing offensively. I think it'll be an entertaining football game.
Coach, thanks for your time. We'll get ready for week 1. More Saints and Chargers football coming up next.
This has been the Coach's Show with Tucker Barner.
Welcome back to Champion Stadium. You hear from head coach of the Saints, Coach Tucker Barnard, as we get ready for tonight's game versus Heritage Hall, about 9 minutes before we get ready to kick it off. So, Cliff, let's talk about the 2026 Saints. And the story of this year is going to be the Saints are now in 7A, going up to the largest classification in Arkansas, playing essentially the 13 biggest teams in the state, along with Pulaski Academy and Little Rock Christian. And so, Cliff, you had some numbers and some kinds of thoughts of we've been here before, just at a different level.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's been a whole lot of yeah, buts, and I use that in quotes, Billy. Yeah, buts has been said about the Shiloh program really over the past 4 years since moving up from 4A to 5A to 6A, and now these Saints are 7A. Shiloh, as we all know, has been good in 4A, a 144-32 record during their 4A classification years. 4 state championships, 3 runners-up, just dominating a period there in Class 4A. Yeah, but, has been said, what are they going to do in 5A when they move up? Well, the 2 years we were in 5A, Billy, 23-5 over a 2-year stretch in 2022, 2023, 2 state runner-up finishes. Here it is again. Yeah, but what are they going to do in 6A? We only go 20-6 over the past 2 years, Billy, with 1 state championship, 1 runner-up finish. 43-11 the past 4 seasons in Class 5A and 6A. Let me say it again, 43-11, 1 state championship, 3 runner-up finishes. And in the final 3 seasons of 4A, 2019 to 2021, if you add that to it, that's an 84-15 record over the past 7 seasons, 7 straight trips to the state championship game, 2 state titles, 5 runner-up finishes. So, how will Shiloh finish this season in 7A? Well, that's to be determined. Obviously, nobody knows at this point here on the opening night, the opening game of the season. But one thing I do know, Billy, it's going to be a fun time watching these 2026 Saints compete, and it all starts tonight here at Champion Stadium.
Cliff, talk about the 26 Saints, and you see the guy right there on the screen. Coach Tucker Bonner talked about it in the pregame show, Cole Creighton. Such a rarity, Cliff, to have a 4-year quarterback at starter. Cole started since a freshman, now as a senior year, and he's had some numbers to back it up.
Over 4,000 yards passing last season as a junior. Like you said, a 4-year starter, battled injuries early in his freshman and sophomore seasons, had a healthy junior season, like I said, basically a 70% completion rate, over 4,000 yards passing, 313-yard average per game. But this number is pretty incredible, and we'd love to see these numbers again this season out of the senior quarterback. 44 touchdowns, only 7 interceptions. He doesn't force the ball. He's on the money almost every throw, and we would love to see some more numbers like that out of the senior quarterback, Cole Creighton.
Yeah, Cliff, you talk about the offense, the explosiveness. You'll see Max Eldridge, who got a lot of carries last year, Charlie Krell in the backfield. But from a receiver perspective, you bring back Cohen Beach. But after that, a lot of young guys got to make some plays.
Absolutely. You lost 2 all-state receivers in Zane Slider and Chandler Kemp. They have moved on to the college ranks. Both those guys over 1,300 yards receiving. You lose that offensive production from the receiver position. You do bring back Cohen Beach, had 612 yards receiving, 47 yards per game. Charlie Kroll, 373 yards, only 33 yards receiving per game. So we've got some other guys we're going to put in those positions and just see how they do. I don't know if we'll have the same numbers that Kemp and Slider had. They just had incredible senior seasons. But somebody will step up. We see it every season. Who will it be? We'll find out tonight.
So across the way from us tonight, the Heritage Hall Chargers, an Oklahoma powerhouse in the Private School Association, 8 state championships for the Chargers. And so, Cliff, this is a team, honestly, we watch film, we're like, man, they look a lot like us.
Absolutely. I mean, the 479, 187 all-time record, 62-7 the past 5 seasons. And to put it into comparison, Shiloh in the past 5 seasons, 56-13. So Heritage Hall has a slightly better record in the past 5 seasons. They've got 8 state titles. Shiloh has 9. But this is a pretty interesting little figure here, Billy. 87-game district win streak for the Chargers coming in tonight. Now, obviously, this isn't a district game, but all that to say is these Chargers and their program, they know how to win. They play with great effort and coach very, very well.
Well, Cliff, we're excited to kind of share with the viewers. We got a special thing for you. We have a sideline reporter this year. Hal Ramsey's going to join us on the broadcast. So, Hal, we've got the coin toss, and he's going to be live with it down the field. So, Hal, welcome to the team.
If you're watching at home, Hal is there in the white top. It's a white out here at Champion Stadium, and he's got
all right,
the
guys,
mic there by the
week 0. We've waited
official
all
ready
year
for the coin
this.
toss.
So tonight we've got a coin. Got the visiting team on one side, home on the other. Okay, we're going to flip the coin, and wherever it lands is going to have the choice. Okay. Heritage, you chose to receive the football, and you have defended which goal? Kick that way. You want to kick this way? Okay. We'll step around this way. You'll follow me. Heritage has won the toss. They have chosen to receive the football.
So Heritage Hall has won the toss. So Hal, looks like the Saints going to go on defense to start this one. Well, we'll work with Hal. He'll come in. Of course, Hal played offensive line at Mississippi State in the SEC, Cliff. So a guy who knows his football. We're really excited to have him on the broadcast. We're going to talk a little bit about the offensive line and play, and he'll be able to give us some insights from down on the field as we go through the season. So both teams about ready to run out. Heritage Hall and Shiloh is to go through. And so, Cliff, the only downside about the August games is it's not dark. You don't get that cool entrance because it's not dark, but both teams will get into it as stadium starting to fill up. Good crowd across the way from Heritage Hall, and so we know they are sharing our broadcast tonight. So for our friends in Oklahoma City watching the game, we welcome you to the game. But Cliff, kind of talking about a Heritage Hall, they have a senior quarterback, 6'4", 226, Tegan Lawson. He's going to lead them. They have their own running back, and we kind of laugh, Cliff. We talk about our Max Eldridge being the toughest guy on the block. Well, Coach Burgert at Heritage Hall, as they come on the field, basically says their Max is the toughest guy on the block too. So it'll be the battle of the Maxes tonight as Heritage comes out. But, Cliff, we talked about a team very similar to us. They're going to be well coached, a lot of state championships, just a historic program. It's going to be a tough challenge in game one right out of the gate.
Absolutely, it will be. And both these teams are somewhat familiar, although they've never played at the varsity level on Friday night under the lights like we're playing here tonight. Heritage Hall almost every summer comes over for our 7-on-7 tournament in July that Shiloh puts on, and has been very competitive. Maybe they've won it a time or two, I'm not sure. But I just know they come almost every year. They're loaded with great athletes. And, again, you talked briefly about the coaching. Coaching is great, well-disciplined program, very similar to how we coach and how we teach here at Shiloh as well. Coming on the field tonight, yes, they're going to have players all over the field, but the strength of their defense and really, defense wins championships is going to be their linebacker. They're the linebackers. They're fast, they're physical, and I think that's what they're going to rely on. Shiloh on the offensive side, if we want to score on these Chargers, we've got to expose and take opportunities that we have on the perimeter, take some vertical shots down the field, and I think Shiloh will have success as you see the Saints coming out for the 2026 season opener here. So we'll see kind of who wins there. I know Heritage Hall, they want to put up points, but they want to stop Shiloh. And again, it starts with their linebacking core of stopping the run, putting pressure, clogging up the middle of the field, putting pressure on the quarterback.
Well, the Saints have taken the field. We'll get ready to kick it off as Heritage Hall will elect to receive. So, been a fun week of Shiloh football across the board. Youth teams went undefeated last week. Monday night, our JV team just pounded Fort Smith Northside 50-0. And a junior varsity game, junior high won as well. Last night, our 7th and 8th grade teams won. So, Cliff, the pressure's on the big boys. They're the only ones who've got to hold the perfect week.
I know. We love these perfect weeks, don't we? Here are a couple of keys I've got to success for Shiloh. If we want to be successful tonight, and we want to put points on the board and win this game, tempo. A lot of Heritage Hall guys play both ways on a hot, steamy night like we have here at Champion Stadium. How's that going to affect the Chargers? We need to identify and communicate changes on their base D when they're moving around on the defensive side. Our offense has to see that, communicate, identify. We've got to take care of the ball. Can't turn the ball over. And the last thing I'll say here, Saints don't beat the Saints. And I use this in quotes, first game mistakes. That is a myth. That has been preached to this team. There are no first game mistakes because or it's acceptable for those. It's not happening tonight. Let's don't beat ourselves.
Callan Honeycutt will kick it off. He kicks it deep. Good kick. Going to be taken at the 1 as Heritage will return it to the 5 to the 10. It's Max. They're Max who are on the return. Good chop down at the 16-yard line. So the Saints with good coverage on the opening kickoff as they'll back Heritage up at around their own 16-yard line to start the game. So Honeycutt is our kicker for this year, and you'll see him. He was kicking 40-yard consistent field goals in the pregame, had a big long one in the JV game the other night. So a real weapon the Saints have at kicker to kind of set us off. So 1st and 10 for Heritage Hall. They'll run out their senior quarterback, number 10, Tegan Lawson, and he will be kind of flanked by number 23, Nash Iser, another senior running back. So Heritage with kind of a stacked look on 1st and 10 at their own 16-yard line as we're underway in the 2026 season. There's a handoff coming this way. Kimbrough's going to get him at the 20-yard line and take him down there. Short pickup for Heritage on 1st down as Iser with an opening carry. So it's going to bring up 2nd down for Heritage as they pick up about 3 on the first play.
This Shiloh defensive unit, Billy, they return their top 6 tacklers from last season. Boy, you'd like to have a bunch of your leading tacklers return for a second season. Hopefully they can duplicate the success they had on the defensive side in 2025 here in 2026.
Saints with some young guys in the secondary. You see Jonah Mabry on this side. You'll see Floyd on the other side playing some cornerback for the Saints. It's on 2nd down. There's a handoff. Going right side, tripped up in the backfield, and here comes a whole host of blue shirts as they're going to trip him up for a 1-yard loss. Max Eldridge on the stop along with number 1, Brody Francis, and a couple other blue jerseys. So it's going to bring up 3rd down. So Heritage has tried early to kind of run the ball effectively. Saints have kind of stuffed them in 3rd and long. And so, boy, Cliff, you'd love nothing more than a 3-and-out to start the season.
Absolutely. Like I said, you've got a lot of returners that the top 6 tacklers from last season, but you've got some newer, younger guys on the outside a little bit. We'll see if the Chargers test these corners here on this drive, on this play.
Thomas to the left, England to the right. They'll send Max in motion. They're going to play action, roll this way, comes back in trouble. Quarterback's going to run, and he's going to be knocked out of bounds around the 20-yard line. So a quick 3-and-out for the Saints defensively as the quarterback Lawson scrambles for a yard. Good coverage. He was looking for Trip Thomas there on the side, but Saints covered it up. 4th down, and it will be punting time for Heritage Hall. Back deep will be number 2, Cohen Beach. He will be one of the bigger Saints this year as far as just playmakers on the team.
Cohen Beach just committed to University of Central Arkansas this week. So congrats to Cohen and his future there in Conway.
So here's the snap, and the Saints come after the punt. Good pressure, but he gets it away. Great kick. Cohen's going to retreat to the 40. He's going to bounce away from him to the 30. What an outstanding punt. All the way down inside the 20. That ball's still rolling down to the 18-yard line. What a punt by the Heritage Hall kicker goes from our own 20, flips the field, puts the Saints inside the 20-yard line. So basically flips the field there.
About
As
a 62-yard punt, just a rough estimate there.
great roll. We kicked it away from Beach, couldn't catch it to go through. So we got Cohen Beach and then a sophomore quarterback, backup quarterback in Cooper Beach. So 2 Beach brothers on the team this year. So Cooper had a good night in the JV game the other night in his kind of first action. So Saints with a 1st and 10. They're going to shift Beach out to the motion. Bodenstein will come back up into the H-back's position, and Charlie Krell in the backfield. They're going to hand it to Charlie, going straight up the middle, picks his way, and he's tripped up at the 22-yard line. Looked like he had a little bit of run to room there, and then tripped up at the 22. So 2nd down.
Charlie wearing a new number this year, number 4. I'll have to get used to that. He's 22 last year, I believe, so looks a little different out there for Charlie.
Cole going to run right here, the 30, and he's taken down right at the 30-yard line. That will get the 1st down, though, move the chains as a pickup of about 7 right there for Cole on this quarterback scramble, 1st and 10. So one thing Creighton can do is run the football. Handoff Krell coming this way. He's in trouble in the backfield and dropped at the 26-yard line. So good pressure there off the edge by the Heritage Hall defense. They're trying to shuffle in a fresh defensive line since the ball is kind of spotted on their side of the field against this Saint tempo. So a loss on the play, 2nd down and 14 is Krell hit for the loss there, but good coverage by the defensive line. As we mentioned, that linebacker crew of Heritage Hall, back to pass. Creighton fires it down the left side. Good, well covered, is intended for Beach, and it's well covered there and incomplete. So it's going to bring up 3rd down. So the lost yardage play has the Saints behind the stick here. 3rd down and 14 from their own 26.
Yeah, tough play there for Beach along the sideline. He is on the Heritage Hall side looking back into the sun. Would have been tough. Ball's thrown out of bounds anyway.
Bodenstein in the backfield, back to pass. Creighton fires behind Silas Nance, incomplete at the 40-yard line. Nance is going to play primarily defense, but you'll see him at receiver a little bit. Cole fired one in there just a little bit behind him and incomplete. So 4th down, and the Saints, after 1 1st down, they will have to punt as well. So Cole Creighton will also do the punting duties for the Saints. So back deep for Heritage Hall, number 2, Max Everett. As Shiloh will go wide, see what the formation looks like, and then they will shift everybody in. So both teams defensively able to get a stop on the first position. Cole kicks it angled to the right. He's going to get a similar roll to the 37 and is kind of rolling sideways. Takes a little bit of a Shiloh bounce. And around the 36-yard line, Max Eldridge there to watch it roll out of bounds. No return for Everett on that, so Heritage Hall will start at their 36-yard line. So, Cliff, yeah, 3 and out, not a 3 and out, but 3 and out for Heritage Hall, and then the Saints get 1 1st down and then a punt. But good job by both defenses early on.
Yeah, defense is playing tough here in the first possession for both teams. So, Chargers come back out. Good field position at their own 36-yard line. So, we'll see what wrinkle they may throw out here on their 2nd drive of the game.
Chargers tried to run it 2 of the first 3 downs in the first possession, didn't get much, and then on 3rd down play, quarterback Lawson had to scamper, just nothing there. So a little bit of a stacked formation. They'll send Thomas in motion and kind of behind the quarterback. They want to run the screen coming back this way. It's incomplete, intended for Max Effort. Saints were pretty good. Brody Francis kind of sniffed that one out. Josiah Campbell in the area as well. So the pass intended for Everett, incomplete. 2nd and 10 coming up for Heritage Hall. Just underway, 7:57 to go here in the first quarter of this, the opening game of the season, Shiloh and Heritage Hall. The Saints, 2 other non-conference games. They'll host Little Rock Christian next week before going over to Tulsa the following week to take on Lincoln in the first of the 3 non-conference games. But a tough one here with Heritage to start the season at the 36-yard line. Lawson sends his man in motion across the way, back to pass, looks under pressure. He's going to scramble a little bit, and he's going to get hit and taken down around the 39-yard line. Max Eldridge on the tackle. Beckham Floyd was there as well to kind of chop him up. They'll see his knee goes down at the 38, so it's going to be 3rd down and 8 for Heritage Hall. And so far, Cliff, nothing in the passing game for Heritage Hall. Every time the quarterbacks had to really just scramble every time.
Yeah, these young defensive backs for Shiloh doing a great job of staying on the receivers. Shiloh getting some good pressure early on in this game, forcing the quarterback to move. Doesn't seem real settled in the pocket yet.
Lawson will have Iser to his left, trips to the near side. So let's see what Heritage wants to do. Now they'll shift a man in motion across the way. Quick handoff. It's going to be to Everett. He's tripped up at the 40-yard line. Well, they tried with a quick draw to see if they could catch the Saints off sides and maybe just kind of not looking for it, but Shiloh all over it. So dropped at the 40-yard line. It's going to be 4th and 6 and punting time for Heritage Hall. So after the great punt last time, this time Silas Nance is going to go back to receive the punt. So Saints with a little bit of depth at the punt return. We've got 3 or 4 guys who can do it, so we'll see some different guys, and Nance is going to get it right here. Bo Butler, the punter for Heritage. There's the snap back, and the kick is away. He kind of kicks it away from Silas. It's going to hit at the 26. Nance will let it roll. It's going to roll down at the 20-yard line as Heritage is going to stop them right there. So Saints will take over after the 40-yard punt at the own 20-yard line to start the possession. 6:24 to go here in the first quarter. Yeah, Shiloh and Heritage trading punts at the moment.
And you're going with the great finish?
Yes, with the live edge.
At Bassett, we know furniture is very personal. So we only make our Benchmade collection when you find the perfect combination of design options, crafted of solid wood and made in the USA. So it's a unique, one-of-a-kind, just for you look.
Bassett Furniture, next to Target in Fayetteville. Go Saints!
Let's go, Saints! World-class barbecue! That's what we do! Smoke rises, the fire burns. Low and slow is what we do. Arkansas, we do it for you! Rice barbecue! Eat the captain!
As we come back, there's a pass to Brody Francis in the flat. Goes incomplete, so 2nd down and 10. Brody kind of looking into the sun a little bit there. Good pressure by Heritage Hall up front. So 2nd and 10 for the Saints at their own 20. Cole back to pass. Quick out route is caught and immediately pushed out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Good tackle there as the Saints make the catch. Henry Alexander, the senior, makes the catch. So it's going to bring up 3rd down and 5 at the 25. Saints running tempo, trying to get set. Here is the Heritage defense scrambling a little bit as an empty backfield. Cole fires in the flat. It's caught by Krell. Can he get the first down? He's hit at the 26, gives ground, and he will not get it. Heritage Hall, as we talked about their defense, kind of the strength of their team, that linebacker core especially, as they get a stop. So the Saints with unable to do it, and they'll have to put Cole Creighton back in punt formation again. So ball at the 24-yard line. Saints just unable to move it. So 4th and 6 coming up. We've hit the halfway point of quarter number 1 and a scoreless game.
Yeah, defense is really shining here early on in this game there, Billy. And
a bad snap.
Cole's
Let's see
head.
what Cole, it may just kick it out of the back of the end zone. He kind of whiffed. Luckily there, it just rolled out the back of the end zone, so it'll be a safety. So a bad snap, and the first points of the game are going to be for Heritage Hall on the safety on the bad snap of the punt. So it'll be 2-zip Heritage Hall as the Saints will have to kick it off. So while we've got a second, as we mentioned earlier, we have Hal Ramsey joining us this year on the broadcast. And so, Hal, we're going to kind of let you talk a little bit about our offensive line a little bit. Coach Widger with a lot of new guys this year up front. Talk about what you're seeing early from the offensive line guys.
You know, so far they're doing a really good job, especially being a group that hasn't had a lot of snaps together. So giving good protection to Cole. Just got to continue to get into the game a little bit more and continue to work together as a group. And I think as the game goes and the season goes, they'll just continue to be a better unit.
We talked to Coach Widger a little bit in the pregame, just kind of pregame walking around. He talked about he's got some new guys up front, trying to get them to work together for the very first time as we go through the season. They'll kind of, but that's what these non-conference games are for, to get better as you get ready for conference play. So after the safety, the Saints will have to kick off from their own 20-yard line. Heritage Hall will send back Iser, number 23, and number 2, Max Everett. So those guys are going to see a lot of snaps tonight as they will be back deep to receive the kick. Honeycutt with a great opening kick. He pinned him at the one, kicked it all the way to the 1. So let's see how far he can kick it from the 20 here after the safety. So another good kick, taken at the 20. Oh, he nearly slipped and fell, but gets back up to the 30, to the 35, 40. Got a hole, hurdles a man, and he is down to the 46, 47-yard line. So a good return there, and Heritage Hall after the safety as Everett brings them back out with a 27-yard kickoff return. And Heritage with good field position on 1st and 10. So the Heritage offense hasn't been able to really get anything going so far. 2 punts, but they got 2 points on the board after a bad snap on the punt. Gave Heritage Hall a 2-zip lead. 5:21 to go in the first quarter. Heritage with their best starting field position of the night at their own 47-yard line. Quarterback Lawson has got his running back to his left, and he's going to send a man in motion. That's England. There's a play action. They're going to fire it in the flat to Max Everett. Breaks one tackle, and he breaks across midfield to the 49-yard lines. He kind of pinballs off a couple Saint defenders there. Nance was the first guy to hit him. And so Cliff really patient kind of offense by the Heritage Hall right now. They're not running a lot of tempo, just trying to kind of put some physicality to the game.
Yeah, they really are. And really both teams are just trying to find their footing on the field here tonight and just kind of, you know, just see where they can find some success. And so far, neither team up to this point has had much success. You had a bad snap there that led to the safety, 2 points for Heritage Hall. But now with great field position, they're in shallow territory for the first time.
At the 49, under center in the I formation here. They're going to run the kind of fullback dive, and Max Eldridge says, no, you're not. He stuffs him at the line of scrimmage. If he got back there at all, they'll give him back to the line, but nothing. Eldridge got in the backfield in a hurry as they tried to hand it to the fullback. When Cliff, boy, seeing teams under center handed to the fullback, that's some old school football right there that you don't see in the modern age anymore.
Yeah, a little wrinkle there by the Chargers, and they're trying to catch Shiloh on their heels a little bit there, trying something new, didn't work. Max Eldridge, as you called, with the tackle. Max was 4th on the team in tackles last year, 119 tackles. And he's got a great start to his 2026 season here tonight.
So right across midfield, it's going to be 3rd down at the St. 49-yard line for Heritage. Back to pass. Pumps, looks, comes back. It's caught by Everett. He dives for the stick. It's going to be close. He got it. 1st down. He got it right on the 37, which is where he needed to go to. Knee was down there, but a 1st down for Heritage Hall. So the Chargers get their first down of the night as they get it down to the St. 43-yard line. So Heritage kind of huddling up and just kind of controlling it. As Cliff mentioned in the pregame, they got a lot of guys who go both ways. So trying to kind of be smart to conserve a little bit of energy. You know, it's going to be a 4-quarter football game tonight here as the Saints and the Chargers battle. Pistol formation here, and the false start by the left guard as he'll get called for the 5-yard penalty and back Heritage Hall up. So 2nd down and 15. So first penalty.
5-yard penalty, still 1st down.
So that helps Shiloh out, backing the Chargers up behind their starting line of scrimmage. Still 1st down, 1st and 15. But Shiloh moving around on the defensive line a little bit caused their linemen to move. I was looking at the play before, Billy, and but we had tight man-to-man coverage on their receivers. A bunch formation again here for the Chargers.
So the Chargers kind of keeping it tight in between the tackles here early on in the game. Again, pistol formation. They're going to hand it off to Everett. He's across the 50 down to about the 45. He'll pick up 3 on that carry. So still longer than the stick, so to speak, right here for Heritage. It's going to be they need 11 yards here after the carry. So 2nd down and 11 coming up after the false start. But Cliff, so far from a defensive perspective, Heritage has tried to kind of pound us a little bit. Saints have held up strong on the defensive front.
Yeah, they really have, and they've gotten some pressure into the backfield. We'll see we're still in the first quarter here, so we'll see how the Chargers can hold up on the offensive line in the trenches. Like you said, several guys going both ways here.
Shotgun formation. Going to hand it off to number 2, Everett. He gets around the right side. Everett with his best run down the sideline, and he's finally knocked out of bounds at around the 27-yard line, but was able to kind of get it and then bounce it out. Heritage with a good job of sealing the edge right there as Everett runs it down to the 27-yard line. To 26 is actually they're giving there, so it's going to be a first down for there. So the biggest play of the game so far for Heritage.
Absolutely. Good blocking on the outside there that freed Everett up, and then he just uses his speed and quickness and his eyes looking down the field, finding where the gap is. Nice big run.
So 1st and 10 for Heritage Hall at the Shiloh 26-yard line. 2:08 to go. Clock running in the first quarter. 2-0 our score as Heritage got a safety on a bad snap on a punt. 1st and 10, though, here at the 26. Quick pass in the flat. Great catch at the 22-yard line. Gain of 4. Number 1, Trip Thomas, 6'3", junior, needed every inch of that 6'3" frame to pull that one in. And a gain of 4 for Thomas. So 2nd down, and we'll call it 6 for Heritage Hall.
Yeah, Jonah Mabry, number 24, he's one of the new starters there at the cornerback. Defensive back position, makes the nice solo tackle for the Saints.
So Heritage will huddle up with 1:30 to go here in the quarter. And so, Cliff, one thing we kind of thought about, two teams have never played before, you haven't really seen, kind of feeling each other out. You can almost feel the sense of the game of both teams trying to do that right now. Saints will kind of use that stand-up defensive line for look, back to pass, got time, throws off his back foot down the left sidelines, and it's incomplete. Intended there for Trip Thomas. He could not haul it in on the left side, kind of bobbled it right on the line, and it's going to go incomplete. So that seems to be the passing game of Heritage right now, trying to throw to number 1, Thomas, the 6'3" junior, and incomplete. So 3rd down for Heritage at the St. 22-yard line, with 1:07 left to go in quarter number 1. So a big play, Cliff, here. If you can just get some negative yardage right here, you make the field goal try much longer for their kicker.
Yeah, I mean, what is it, 3rd and 6. So you pick up a couple yards here. I think we're probably 4-down territory. If you're the Chargers, you want to keep this drive going. Little long for a potential field goal kick.
They'll send Porter England in motion across the formation. They're going to try to screen it to him. They do, to the 20, to the 15, and he's cut down at the 13-yard line, but that's a first down. So initially wasn't there. Great job by Lawson being patient as the Saints had kind of blown the screen up, but his receiver was able to just kind of find a nudge as England got out in the flat and got it. So first down at the 13-yard line for Heritage Hall. So they're having their best drive, had not gotten a first down until this drive, and now they have it down at the St. 13-yard line, as they've kind of gotten a little bit more balance here, Cliff, away from the run, just a little bit more balance with the passing game to go through for Heritage. So,
and they're really taking their time coming out of the huddle. Play clock's under 10 right now. They're not rushing up there, not trying to rush plays, going about this drive very methodically.
Iser with a handoff right up the middle, hit at the line of scrimmage. He'll fall forward for 2 down to the 11-yard line, so it's going to bring up 2nd and 8 for Heritage Hall. The Chargers don't have to run a play if they don't want to, and they don't even look like they're going to try. They're heading toward the sideline. So into the first quarter here, and if you like defense, it's been great. It's a 2-0 game, with the safety being the only points of quarter number 1. So, Cliff, we kind of look at the stats of the first quarter for the Saints. Not a lot on the not our normal first quarter stats.
No, not at all. I mean, you've had three drives here, or 2 drives, excuse me, in the first quarter. Both of them were punts. And one of the punts, I wrote it down as a punt, but it was a snap over the punter's head that led to the safety. So nothing doing for Shiloh offensively. Heritage Hall really nothing doing on their first 2 drives either. But this drive, their 3rd one, they're kind of putting it together, passing, running, doing a great job of blocking up along the line, getting some first downs, and getting close to scoring their first touchdown of the game.
You see down on the field, that's our Shiloh trap team getting their state championship. They won the very first one in trap, so the Saints, all kind of different sports, Cliff, having lots of success early in the season. We want to thank you for our sponsors who sponsor 2026 Shiloh Christian Football, our legendary sponsors Geo Surfaces, Roush Companies, the Frame Family, Mr. Sparky, and Wright's Barbecue, our elite sponsors this year, C.R. Crawford Construction, Chick-fil-A Springdale, and then our Visitor Press Box sponsors this year will be Vantage 9 and Arvest, and then our center scoreboard sponsors this year, Reliable Poultry, Roush Companies, Quality Millwork Incorporated, Advanced Primary Care, and then a more exciting feature we'll help to bring back this year will be our Prism Pools and Outdoors play of the game. Right now, Saints trying to get a stop on defense. It's going to be second down for Heritage Hall. They hand it coming right this way. Iser's going to be tripped up at the 8-yard line. Good tackle there in the open field by the Saints. Number 5, Tate Barnard. The coach's son comes up right there and makes a good stop in the open field. So ball is at the 8-yard line. It's going to be third down for the Chargers as they were on their drive right here. So see if the Saint defense can stiffen up here and maybe force a field goal opportunity. Here on this one's third down and about 4. They spot it just in between the 8 and the 7-yard line. As you look there, Chargers going toward the south end zone here, toward the parking lot of the stadium. What little wind is blowing is kind of behind their back right now. Iser's to the left of the quarterback. He's going to get the carry going right, and he's hitting the backfield and nothing doing. Great job by the Saints on the defensive line. First man to hit him is 42, Corbin Miller, who had the big interception in the state championship game against Greenwood. He comes up and makes the play there. Great job there, Cliff, on third down. Defense came up big.
They really did. I think they're going to force a field goal attempt here. So if this is made or missed, it's a win for the Saint defense. They gave Heritage half the field, let them move the ball down the field, but they're holding them here to a field goal attempt. Looks like the field goal attempt will be about a 25-yarder.
Right hash, snap is down, kick is on its way, it's up, and it is good. So 10:27 to go here in the quarter. It's the Chargers 5 and the Saints 0. We'll take a quick timeout. You're watching Shiloh Christian Football.
Serving multiple cities in 9 different states. We are proud to call Northwest Arkansas our home and the Shiloh Saints our team. Mr. Sparky, Northwest Arkansas's favorite electrician. Shiloh Saints. Let's go!
Roush Companies, improving your world, one industry at a time.
Welcome back to Champion Stadium. 10:26 to go in quarter number 2. 25-yard field goal by the Chargers of Heritage Hall has expanded their lead to 5-0. So 2 points in the first quarter and 3 points about a minute and a half into the second quarter. Saint offense will try to get going here as Cohen Beach along with them. There's a pooch kick this way. Saints won't fair catch it. They're going to try to return it. It's Landon Sabatini giving ground to the 30. He gets to the outside, landing to the 35, the 40. Great block by Eldridge, and he's going to be out of bounds around midfield. Boy, really close to a late hit there by the Chargers. They kind of shoved him out of bounds, but Eldridge with a great block, and Sabatini, Cliff, he showed some speed right there. He came across the field and got to the corner.
Yeah, it had a couple good seal blocks to free him up a little bit. I was wondering what Landon was doing, moving from one side of the field to the other, but he used his speed, followed some blockers, and made a good decision. Saints have the ball, their best field position of the night, short field right at the 50.
So Saints, as Cliff mentioned, best field position they've had all night. We'll get them going here at midfield. Handoff right up the middle. There's a tackle. There's Max Eldridge. We got our Max too, and he carries it hard down to the 43-yard line, just getting those tough yards. So you'll see a lot of Charlie Krell, a lot of Max Eldridge in the back. As Chargers, I don't know if they're going to get a man off the field. They don't. It's a 5-yard penalty. Eldridge fumbles a snap. It won't matter, though, because they're going to have 12 men on the field. The Chargers were trying to run a guy off the field, but just couldn't do it fast enough. So the officials will talk, but this will be a pretty easy call here. So we'll go down to the white hat tonight.
We have a substitution infraction on the defense. It's a 5-yard penalty.
So with a 5-yard penalty,
first down,
besides the goodness of the penalty, it also moves the chain. So at the 38-yard line, Saints tempo helped right there at the 38. Cole fires out in the flat, caught by Bodenstein, turns up the field to the 30. Jake's down to around the 28. He'll be just short of the first down, but he'll get 9 on that carry. Good open field block there by Will Fryer, the junior in the flat. Made a good play there. First down, good pickup of 9. 2nd and 1. Saints with good tempo. Handoff. Bodenstein, he plows his way forward. Look at Jake running down all the way down to about the 23-yard line. Good movement by the offensive line. So the Saints with a kickoff return is Heritage. Now they're running another player off the field. They'll get him off just before the snap. Handoff to Eldridge. Breaks 1 tackle. Pinballs his way back to the line, and that's it. So good job, as we mentioned, that linebacker core of Heritage Hall, such a strong point of their football team. A lot of experience for those guys. They make good plays right there in the run game. They'll give Max 1 on that carry. 2nd down and 9. 9:10 to go in the second quarter. Saints with their best field position, and the official is going to make one of the players for Heritage Hall, number 20, take a knee. And I'm not sure if he was trying to get off or what. The official told him to take the knee right there, so they'll run another player on. Maybe he took his helmet off when he came across, so I'm not sure what's going on there. Handoff. Nope, Cole's going to pull it to the 20, cuts inside and just slide down at the 19-yard line. So Cole picks up a few on the scrambles. He kind of pulled it out of the belly of his running back there. 3rd down, and it's about 5 yards to go. Saints need to get kind of in between the 15 and the 14 for a first down as the ball spotted at the 19. Bodenstein's to the left. Saints will go motion to the right for Creighton. Here's a blitz off the edge. Quo fires it a quick out route. It's caught right at the stick. It'll all depend on the spot. It looks good initially at the 14 as the pass is caught out there in the flat by number 83, Henry Alexander. Henry's had a couple catches early in the game. It's a first down at the Heritage 14. They give him the yardage. Saints will go quickly, hand off Eldridge right up the middle. Max hit at the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Nothing doing. He's going to lose maybe a yard as the front line of Heritage Hall does a good job there, Cliff. And so, Cliff, we talked a little bit about is with how earlier you got an offensive line hasn't played together a lot. Going to take a little bit of time to get the running game in rhythm.
Yeah, and you see the tempo that Shiloh's trying to operate here. They're trying to catch the Chargers on their heels here defensively.
Cole going to keep it. Goes right up the middle to the 10, to the 9, and then taken down at the 8-yard line. Good open field tackle there by Heritage Hall. Number 11, Carson Phelps, the senior linebacker, makes the stop there. Ball's at the 8-yard line. It's 3rd down and 4 for the Saints. Krell back in the game. Charlie gets the carry right up the middle of the 5. Breaks a tackle. 2-1. He's in. The first touchdown of 2026. Charlie Krell up the middle. And the Saints take a 6-5 lead over Heritage Hall.
Great blocking and hole right up the middle for Charlie to run through. And we're used to seeing Charlie make runs like that, and Max Eldridge make runs like that during last season. Again, I have to get used to number 4 running the ball up the middle. Charlie with his new number here for this season.
So the Saints line up, and they're going to take a quick timeout to think about if they want to go for 2. And it's sort of an odd score right here, 6-5. We'll see what they try to do. So actually, Heritage Hall took the timeout, so thanks, Cliff, for catching that one. I thought we had taken it from our coach's reaction. So, hey, we have a new sponsor for our touchdown drives this year. I want to thank the good folks at C.R. Crawford for sponsoring our touchdown drives this year.
That Saints scoring drive constructed by C.R. Crawford.
So that touchdown drive was constructed by C.R. Crawford, sponsoring our touchdown drives this year. So, Cliff, if you do Shiloh Christian football and you sponsor touchdown drives, that's a good investment because you're going to get your name out there a lot. So, thanks C.R. Crawford for their sponsorship this year. So, Saints lead 6-5, 7:38 to go here in the first quarter. Shiloh is going to line up and go for 2. And with an odd score of 6-5, it kind of makes sense a little bit to try to get the 2 and get a field goal lead, especially with a good kicker, Butler, that the guys from Heritage Hall across the way have. Rolling right, Creighton, looking, fires in the corner. Beach, he drops it all. It was right there. Beach was trying to kind of get his feet on the corner before he went out of bounds and couldn't manage the feet in the catch, and it goes incomplete. So 7:38 to go in the first quarter. Saints 6 and the Chargers 5. So we'll kick it down to Hal Ramsey, who's doing on the broadcast here. So a little bit, Hal, hey, we saw that offensive line get some tempo, and we're able to move us down the field a little bit there effectively.
Yeah, they really did a good job of just holding their blocks and giving us a chance to really get down the field and make the plays that we needed to. We talked about it earlier. If you really look at it, you've only got one starter on that offensive line from last year, then it's really gotten a significant number of snaps. So really good job, and as they continue to get better and better as the game goes on.
So Saints lead 6-5 after the touchdown run by Charlie Krell. Gets us going a little bit to go. And, you know, Cliff, it's so funny in a game like this, kind of the momentum changed because instead of kicking it deep, Heritage tried a pooch kick, and Landon Sabatini turned the corner, gave us great field position there.
Yeah, I mean, starting great field position, as you said, right at midfield, short field for Shiloh, and you see the tempo. We struggled with the tempo in the first quarter, just didn't really have anything going, but there in the second quarter on that drive specifically, Shiloh able to mix it up, running, passing, and getting their first score of the season.
Honeycutt's kick going to be taken by Everett at the 7. Boy, nearly steps out of bounds, and he's tripped up at the 20. Great job by Landon Sabatini. Boy, Landon's having a good night on the special teams, making the tackle there after the good return last time. So 1st and 10, Heritage Hall. Looks like they're going to spot it around the 20, 21-yard line. That's where they'll start this drive.
Yeah, Landon made the initial hit, and then Cooper Croft, number 30, coming in and make sure the returner got down. So not greatest field position for the Chargers here on their own 21-yard line. 7:34 remaining here until halftime. Interesting score. 7 minutes left here in second quarter, Billy. 6-5.
Yeah, very, very unique. And speaking of unique, the Heritage Hall is going to kind of change up the offensive look. They got 4 wide receivers. First time we've seen that tonight as Iser in the backfield. And they're going to fire the quick screen. It's caught at the 20 to the 25 and is going to be finally taken down around the 30. Good pickup of 9 yards as they kind of just ran the quick screen right there. Catching the pass was number 4, Porter England, the senior 5'11", 180-pound wide receiver, picks up 9. So, yeah, that's the thing, Cliff. You look at Heritage Hall, they're just so well coached. You're going to see some different wrinkles out of them. They're going to throw some things at you haven't seen tonight. Saw a trips formation earlier out of them. This time they go spread on us.
Yeah, I mean, it's the first game of the season for both these teams, obviously, and so you want to just kind of see what your team, you've been practicing all kinds of different plays, but you want to see kind of what sticks. How do we execute this? Maybe we do it well in practice. Let's try it on Friday night against another opponent, see how we do.
At the 30-yard line, they're going to hand it off. Heavy pressure in the backfield, and Everett goes down. He's going to lose Josiah Campbell, the first one there to get him back to the 26-yard line. You see the Saint defensive coaches with some fist bumps out on the field. A big lost yardage play there as Campbell got in the backfield. So losing yards back to the 27-yard line, loss of 4. So third down at the 27. They need to get to the 31. So they had a short yardage play. Saints make it 3rd and 4 instead of a 3rd and 1 if they had gotten back. So empty backfield here. Interesting for Lawson to see. We'll see what they try to do. They've gone with the short passes so far with 5 wide receivers here. Lawson takes a snap, looks, fires over the middle. It's caught by Everett at the 45. He's got some open room to the 45, and he's down inside the 40 down to the 36-yard line as the Saints finally get him on the ground. So big play there for Heritage Hall. Saints nearly deflected it as they got it just barely over the hands of the linebacker row there for the Saints, and Everett is down to the 36. So big play for Heritage Hall. They flip the field and get a first down.
Big third down completion there for the Chargers. Exactly what they needed on their side of the field. Just found an open seam across the middle. And Everett, you can see the speed and just the athletic ability he brings to the field when he gets the ball in his hands.
Well, Everett's obviously the go-to guy for Heritage Hall, as I've seen go to him often early in this game. Iser the wrong back in the pistol formation. Ball placed at the 34-yard line is a first down. Saints show blitz. They're going to run it, and the running back breaks away to the 30, gets outside to the 25, to 20, 15, to the 10. Blue shirts chasing him. Finally, Silas Nance catches him, but not until he's down to the 6-yard line. Well, was kind of bottled up in the middle right there, but able to bounce out, Cliff, and get a big gain.
Yeah, I mean, if you're on the offensive side and this is your team running the ball, that's what you want to see your running back do. Don't get caught up in the big mush pile in the middle. Bounce it out wide open to the right side. If you're Shiloh, that's not what you want to happen. You want to wrap them up when you've got them stopped at the line of scrimmage. Unfortunately, it worked out for the Chargers as they were able to have another big gain on the ground.
So first and goal for Heritage at the 5-yard line after the big pass play and then the run play. So balance right here. Iser again in the pistol formation. They'll kind of stay with that kind of look they've gone to. They're going to hand it to Iser, going left, bounces outside, breaks a tackle, getting to the corner. Barnard's running him down, but he won't catch him in time. It's a touchdown for Heritage Hall as Nash Iser, the senior running back, is able to bounce it outside for the touchdown. And Heritage Hall, after being down 6-5, retakes the lead at 11-6.
So it's always good for your team when you give up a score, you come back immediately and scored. That's what Heritage Hall did this drive. They gave up a touchdown to Shiloh. They get the ball back. They march down the field, just over 2 minutes, scoring drive here for the Chargers, and they retake the lead due to some big plays on the ground.
So looks like Heritage Hall is going to go for 2. Yep, they are. 11-6 the score. They'll try to go back up by a touchdown. So both teams with the odd safety kind of thrown in this game, really trying to figure out how to handle that one off point. Heritage Hall is going to have to burn a timeout. They were trying to change personnel, but the play clock was running down. So 5:04 to go in the first quarter. This one, Heritage Hall is retaking the lead at 11-6. So mentioned some of our sponsors this year of Shiloh Christian Football. We'll kind of hit some of those more as we go through. So our school board signs this year are sponsored by Stubbs Center for Cosmetic Surgery, Midland Industrial Services, Smith & Davis, Tyking DDS, Harps, Osage Plumbing and Air, Fast Lane Entertainment, Bacchus Concrete, Wright's Barbecue, CR Crawford Construction, Prestige Hormone Health and Wellness. Our play clocks this year sponsored by Arkansas Children's Northwest, and our end zone signs, Daisy Outdoor Products, Southern Siding Incorporated, Tesseract Fab, Retriever Academy, First National Bank, American Safeguard Insurance, Harris CPA, LEC, some of our signage for the Saints this year. So 5:04 to go here in the second quarter. Heritage Hall has taken the lead back at 11-6. They're going to try to go for 2. See if they can push this thing out to a 7-point lead with 5:04 to go in the first quarter. I'm sorry, in the first half. It's a kind of a quickly moving first half as both teams have kind of kept it on the ground a little bit so far. So unique formation here. Looks like going to be a power left. That's exactly what they try to do, and the Saints said, nope, not going to work there. Eldridge the first to hit him, but the Saints' entire defensive line just blew up that power look. So the 2-point conversion fails. And with 5:03 to go here in the first half, it's still the lead for Heritage Hall at 11-6 over Shiloh. So Saints will try to get it back. They got the offense going on the last drive, Cliff, and let's see if we can get the tempo going back again.
Yeah, really need to. I mean, I'm looking here at stats here so far in the first half. Cole Creighton passing the ball 4 of 7 for 18 yards. I mean, we've seen many games at this point of the game. Cole's got 100-plus yards passing, 2 touchdowns, so struggling a little bit there on the offensive side. Even rushing the ball, Cole's the leading rusher, 3 carries, 18 yards. Max Eldridge, 3 carries, 8 yards, as is Charlie Kroll, 3 carries and 8 yards. So not a whole lot of offensive output by the Saints, but I feel like the tempo and the trend of the game on both sides of the field is changing a little bit. That first quarter, a little sluggish, and sometimes you expect that. The first game, opening game of the season, you got 2 really good teams battling together, battling it out tonight. And we've seen the tempo pick up on both sides, defensively and offensively, here in the second quarter.
So at the 40, Heritage Hall will kick it off as they have taken the lead again, 11-6. So there's the kick, not a short one this time. It's going to be taken at the 8. They try to pin the Saints toward the sideline, trying to cross the field, running as fast as we can, but there's just really nothing there. Taken down at the 16-yard line. Good coverage by Heritage Hall right there. So the Saints will start deep in their own territory as Josiah Campbell, I think, was on the return there.
Well, it looked like number 19, Brody Heyman.
Brody Heyman, okay. Yeah, it's hard to tell that 6 and the 9 when those jerseys bunch up. So Brody, a sophomore, going to be a big player for the Saints down the road. As he's a young guy, receiver, who's really talented, had a great junior high career. So heard Coach mention him in the pregame. So at the 16, Saints with bad field position. They'll send a man in motion to the right. Cole's going to roll that way. He's got some time. Fires caught at the 25 to the 30 and then taken down there. So Landon Sabatini makes the catch. Saints move the chains, gain of 13 as the Saints pop it out to the 29-yard line, and it's a first down. So Shiloh's gotten a little bit more tempo going here in the last two drives. Cole back to pass, looks deep, fires it deep down the middle of the field, one-on-one. It's caught by Beach to the 25, stay on his feet to the 20, to the 15, racing to the quarter, 10, 5, he's in there, touchdown Shiloh. 4:43 to go in a quarter, and a bomb from Cole Creighton, 71 yards to Cohen Beach, and the Saints take the lead right back, Cliff, at 12-11.
Well, I'm sitting here, I had my head down. Billy missed the call, missed the play. Heard the call, missed the play as I was doing the stats from the previous play. And I look up and I thought one, is a beautiful throw, but two, I didn't think Cohen had enough separation between the defender to make the catch, and it was all fingertips catch. He keeps his balance and runs it in for, like you said, the 71-yard pass completion for a touchdown, and Shiloh back on top.
Big bomb, 71 yards there for the Saints. Here's the trickeration. Silas Nance running, makes a man miss, and a great open field tackle by who else? Number 2, Max Everett for Heritage Hall. What a great player he is. And here's our C.R. Crawford
That Saints scoring drive constructed by C.R. Crawford.
Welcome back, 4:38 to go here in the second quarter. Again, thanks our C.R. Crawford Construction for sponsoring that touchdown drive constructed by C.R. Crawford. And so, Cliff, you kind of feel a momentum switch in this game a little bit. The Saints offense really struggled in the first quarter. They've gotten it going here a little bit. 2 drives in a row, tempo and touchdowns.
Yeah, they really have. And you just see how quick, as you see the replay there, just Cohen Beach doing a great job of really keeping his eyes on the ball. First thing he's got to do, and he's running full speed, very hard to do. Keep your eyes on the ball, catch the ball, get your feet under you, and then outrun the defender for the big score. Saints on top now, 12-11, 4:38 remaining. And like I said, sluggish first quarter. Both these teams picking it up here in the second quarter.
So the Saints will kick it. It will take a bounce. And I think there's a flag down. Shiloh they're going to get called for a false start. So Shiloh got going a little bit too quickly. So 12-11, Honeycutt will kick it off. The sad part for the Shiloh was Honeycutt's kick had bounced.
5-yard penalty,
it would have been a
real
touchback,
kick.
but instead Saints will have to re-kick it off with 4:38 to go here in the first half. So 12-11 Shiloh, as both teams have just not been able to get the extra point, as they say, going in this game. And of course the odd score a little bit, again, a safety was the first 2 points of the season for Heritage Hall, 2-0. So Saints will re-kick it off from their own 35-yard line. Honeycutt's got Everett back deep. And there's the kick. Everett's going to field it at the 14 to the 15 to the 20, cuts it up the field, the 25, bounces it outside the 30, and then taken down at the 31-yard line. Pretty good coverage by the Saints, but Everett got what he could on the return. As Josiah Campbell, one of the guys in Everett, gets up a little slowly. He kind of got chopped down a little bit there on the kickoff. I think that was Croft, if I'm not mistaken, on the tackle there, Cliff, on the kickoff. At the 31's where they'll spot it. That's where this drive will get going. 4:32 to go here in the first half. Now, Heritage Hall only has 1 timeout. So if they play with the non-tempo that they played with most of the first half, they'll kind of have to manage the clock to have some sort of drive here. Saints have taken the lead back 12-11 in this game. Heritage Hall won the toss, elected to receive, so Saints will get it to start the second half. At the 30, quick hitter out in the flat. It's caught by Everett to the 35. He fumbles and then catches it back and then gets knocked out of bounds hard at the 37-yard line. Silas Nance, Josiah Campbell over there along with Floyd. So at the 37-yard line, pick up a 6, so 2nd and 4. Cliff, you can kind of see Everett with his hands on hip walking back to the huddle. He's taken some real shots the last 3 or 4 times he's opened with the football.
Yeah, he has, and that's what the defense needs to do. You need to hit, not just tackle and lay them down gently. Let's keep pounding. I mean, we talked about pregame, just the tempo of the game. 4 quarters, lots of Heritage Hall players go both ways. What kind of effect is that going to have them as the game goes on here?
Back to pass, looking, going to throw it deep down the left sidelines. There's a man there. It's knocked away and incomplete, as jumping for it was Thomas for for Heritage Hall. And boy, he and Croft were both right there, and they both kind of took a hard hit. They both kind of fell to the ground on their back. Croft had high-pointed the pass, and Thomas was going up for it too, so they both took a collision there. But pass goes incomplete. Ball comes back to the 37. One of the rare times tonight we've seen Heritage Hall try to take a deep shot. They did there. Saints defense rose to the occasion. So 3rd down and 4 coming up. And so Cliff and what's offenses couldn't do anything. Now they both scored in 3 straight possessions. Boy, you'd love to kind of flip that script and see if you can get the ball back and get that stop with the lead.
Well, we talk about this every year, Billy. Be great in the middle 8. Well, we're in the first part of the middle 8 here of the ending of the first half.
There's a pass caught at the 41. Boy, it's going to be close.
Yeah, I think he's just short.
England with the stop at the 41. Oh, they gave it to him. Yep, they did. He got a fortunate spot on this side of the 41. 1st down, Heritage Hall. Just a quick outlet to England, who made the catch and gets it. So the running back, Everett, who kind of beat up a little bit, had gone out. It's going to jog back in the game for Heritage Hall. So they'll kind of do some things. So, yeah, Cliff, you talk about the middle grapes, talking to one of the coaches before we got there, and they talked about how one of our games last night, it flipped in a middle 8 turn, so it's such an important part of the game for both teams. So unique formation here, quarterback under center. He's going to send it there. They're going to pitch it one way, come back this way, kind of a wing T look. They're going to run it to the 45 and across midfield, gets out of bounds around the 46-yard line. Nance is finally able to bring it down, so they flipped it around to Carter Phelps that time on the carry after Everett handed off. So that's some old school Prairie Grove football right there, Cliff, that we were used to seeing.
It picked up 13 yards, and the Chargers will take it. 2:50 remaining here until halftime. And, again, second quarter been back and forth between these two teams. And it's kind of like heavyweight boxers. One takes a punch, one gives a punch. Take a punch, give a punch. And right now the Chargers are the ones giving the punch. They're moving the ball down the field on the Shiloh side now at the 46-yard line. Plenty of time left for them to try to put another score on the board.
Weddle and Phillips out to the white side. There's a quick pass. It's going to be caught by Everett to the 40, and then he's going to be taken out of bounds at the St. 39-yard line. So just a quick kind of bubble screen there by Heritage Hall, and they'll get a good pickup. So here, Cliff, that's some very, from what we're used to seeing, that's a very kind of Greenwood type of play. Just a quick hitter, get it to your guys, and Heritage doing a good job of getting their best athletes in space with just the ball very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, it puts a lot of pressure on the defense because it happens so quick. Shiloh does it offensively, too, trying to keep the defense in check, keep the defense on their heels, and just catch them off guard a little bit. And so, yeah, those bubble screens and little short screens, those are so tough to defend.
2:37 to go. They'll go back to kind of the pistol look with Iser in the backfield. Lawson calling for the snap. Going to hand it to Iser right up the middle. He gets a little bit, maybe a yard, 2 at the very most, right up the middle. So still going to be 3rd down for Heritage Hall. So right there on the tackle for the Saints. Looked like Blake Williams making the tackle. Blake, the senior linebacker, jumped in there. So 3rd down and 2 coming up for Heritage Hall. We'll see if the Saint defense can get a stop here. Got to feel like, Cliff, at the 38, you're probably not going to punt here. You're probably 2 down territory with a short yardage situation.
Yeah, I would think so. I think Heritage Hall trusts their defense, and we talked about how good their linebackers are, how fast and physical they are. If they aren't able to pick up the 1st down here, I think they can rely and feel comfortable with their defense.
Everett in motion, Iser in the backfield, play action, fires over the middle man, wide open, 20-15-10, and the Saints are trying to drag him down. They finally do at the 6-yard line, but hitting up the seam, they hit the tight end that time, number 20, Austin King, the senior, 6'2", 205, and a big play for Heritage Hall. So they've got a couple chunk plays in the passing game here in the last couple of drives, and now Heritage Hall, the 1st and goal at the 7-yard line. Good play call there, Cliff. They use misdirection with their 2 main playmakers and hit the tight end over the middle.
Absolutely. Great play call offensively there by the Chargers coaching staff. It reminds me of what I've seen Prairie Grove do back in to us at times and other teams back in the day when we were playing Prairie Grove and those teams in 4A. They just kind of lull you to sleep a little bit and then pop that tight end out across the middle.
Bubble screen out to Everett, makes a man miss, dives to the end zone, and he's in. Touchdown, Heritage Hall with 1:11 to go here in the second quarter. So the offenses who couldn't get anything going early in the game we've seen 4 consecutive scoring drives as Heritage Hall is able to answer as they put it in. As they got Everett out in space, he gets into the end zone for the touchdown. 17-12 the score, and this time Heritage Hall is just going to run the kicker Butler out there and try to make it an 18-12 game, kind of stop the 2-point, trying to catch that point for the oddity of the scores a little bit. So 17-12, but the extra point coming would be 18-12. See if the Saints can get in there and block it maybe. Good snap, hold. Well, the Saints got a good pressure, but Butler's kick is going to land on the top of a car in the parking lot. So as we go through the first quarter, as the first half of this game, it's 18-12 Chargers. As you see the replay here, and boy, Cliff Everett's so difficult to get down in space. And, you know, we kind of talked about he's sort of our Max, right? We talk about the toughness of Max Eldridge. Well, Max Everett is kind of his almost clone across the way.
Yeah, you've got 2 great Maxes playing here on both sides, as you said, and it's just fun. It's an entertaining game so far here in the first half. Still 1:11 remaining. Shiloh has plenty of time. We've seen them score. Their scoring drive just a second ago was 17 seconds. So Shiloh has plenty of time on the clock, and they still have all 3 timeouts. So if you're Shiloh, what you want to do, you want to get a score before the half because you're getting the ball coming out of the half. We talked about be great in the middle 8. Well, Shiloh's done a pretty good job here in the first part of that middle 8. Coming out of half, what can they do in the first 4 minutes of the second half, the third quarter? But we're concerned about this. 1:11 right here. Let's move it down the field. Let's put a score on the board. Hopefully go in at halftime with the lead, come out of half, get another score, and put some pressure on the Chargers a little bit. We haven't been able to do that because the Chargers have done a great job of kind of controlling the tempo for the most part here in the first half, running the ball, and then as you saw on some pretty big pass plays on that drive.
There's a good kick. Silas Nance going to field it at the 8, trying to get to the left side. Let's see if Silas can get there. He's got a hole. Silas to the 25. Great open field tackle by Heritage Hall at the 28-yard line. That was number 13, Grant Sullivan, the junior defensive back, 6 foot, made the stop for Heritage Hall. And if he doesn't make that tackle, Silas might have been gone right there. So good open field tackle by Heritage Hall. Cliff mentioned all 3 timeouts for the Saints. 1:03 left to go here in the first half. The Chargers have an 18-12 lead over the Saints as they have scored a touchdown on the last 2 drives. Cole Creighton with an empty backfield, and he's going to run a screen this way. It's called at the 25 to the 30 to the 35, and then getting out of bounds at the 41-yard line. Good job there by the Saints. As we talked about, the guy's going to need to help us this year. Number 19, Brody Heyman, right on cue right there. The sophomore wide receiver gets it and uses some smarts. Gets out of bounds at the 43-yard line. First down for the Saints. Cole back to pass. Play action there. Great protection. Now it breaks down. Now Cole's going to run. He slides down at the 45-yard line. Let's see if the Saints use a timeout. They will. Coach Barnard's asking for one. They'll finally get it with about 44 seconds left to go here in the quarter. So Shiloh will take a timeout at their own 45. A second down and 8 coming up with 44.2. Kind of like the basketball clocks. You can see the
Shiloh's first timeout.
Stop it on the
First
dot.
timeout.
4.2 to go here in quarter number 2 here in the first half. And so, Cliff, this boy, you talk about something we haven't talked about, Honeycutt in the kicking game. He had the long field goal in the JV game the other night, was hitting 40-yarders in warm-ups. This is a type of game where field goals might be huge if you can just get down there and give you a shot at it.
Yeah, I mean,
you obviously want a touchdown, but
I was going to say that's your last-ditch effort there if you've got to attempt a field goal. Nothing against our kicker, but we want to put it in the end zone. We want it on the blue turf on the north side of the field where it says Shiloh. We want to get it in there and get this lead. Yes, a field goal does help. Let's put points on the board for sure. Let's get in the end zone.
Creighton fires, caught at the 44-yard line. That'll stop the clock. It's Tate Barnard on the reception. 36 seconds left to go here in the half. Saints will be on the right hash. They spot it at the 45. 1st and 10. They wind the clock. Cole rolling this way, looks, fires this way. It's going to be caught by Brody Heyman at the 40-yard line. Brody falls out of bounds after he picks up 5 yards. That stops the clock with 28.7 left. Saints have 2 timeouts, so they can still kind of manage it. Now the official is going to stop the clock.
Clock keeper. Take 3 seconds off the clock. 3 seconds off the clock.
Whoa, they're taking time off the clock here. And Cliff, we were actually kind of looked up directly as they stopped it, as he fell out of bounds. And man, I don't know about that one, Cliff. We were pretty on cue of stocking that clock right back. So they're going to reset it and take time off the clock. They'll put 25 seconds on the clock. But man, that could be pretty big, Cliff, to lose 3 seconds right there.
Yeah, it could. So we'll just see how it affects it at the end here. But Saints have to move on.
Well, Coach Barnard's upset with that call. We understand why. At the 40-yard line, play action. Cole back to pass. Looking, has time, just throws it away down the left sideline. Is in the direction of Sabatini, but well covered, and so Cole just had to throw it away. So 3rd down coming up and 5. But, also, Cliff, about the stoppage right there, boy, you had some tempo going. And you kind of had some momentum, and that sort of popped it away. So tough break there for the Saints. So 3rd and 5 coming up at the 40. Obviously, you're in 2-down territory with 20.6 left to go in the first half. Saints trail 18-12 to the Heritage Hall Chargers. Back to pass. Creighton, gets pressure, rolls right, fires over the middle. It's caught by Barnard at the 25-yard line right in the middle of the field. Shiloh will go ahead and use a timeout with 12.7 seconds left to go. So the clock would have stopped on the first down, but you would have wasted so much time trying to get up there and get that snap with 2 timeouts left. You can afford to use one. So Saints will have 1 timeout, ball right in the middle of the field at the 25-yard line with 12 seconds left to go. So, Cliff, you got at least 1 shot at the end zone, maybe 2 if you can execute it very quickly right here. But, hey, good drive by the Saints. Didn't have a lot of time. We've got ourselves in a scoring opportunity here.
Yeah, they do, and just a lot of opportunity, or a lot of possibilities, I should say, on the offensive side. We've got lots of playmakers, lots of plays that Coach Davis and Coach Barnard, Coach Widger, that they can draw up here from the, where we at, Heritage Hall 25-yard line. Again, 12.7 seconds. Saints have 1 timeout left, so plenty of time. You just really can't take a sack here or, a pass that's in traffic. Got to be careful on the throw here.
No negative yardage plays here. Cole rolls right, has time, under pressure, fires. It's caught by Sabatini. He'll step out of bounds at the 19-yard line. 6.7 left on the clock to go through. So Saints, well, this is tough right here. Do you try the long field goal with 6.7 left? You have a timeout, but if you take a shot to the end zone, it's probably going to eat up the full 6.7. So tough decision here for Coach Barnard, what he wants to do right here. He's going to run an offensive play. Now, obviously, you could just do a quick hitter, get some yardage, and try the field goal. Maybe change the field position, get it to the middle of the field. Easier for the kicker. We'll see what to do. They're going to take a shot for the end zone. Pass is incomplete. Intended for Silas Nance with 2.1 left. So great job by Creighton right there. He got it out in a hurry to give us a chance, as gives us either catch it or we still leave 2.1. So field goal opportunity coming up for Shiloh at the 19-yard line. So Honeycutt is going to be out of the hole to Bodenstein with a great opportunity for the Saints right here. Sits it down at the 26 is Bodenstein, so it's a 36-yard field goal from the right hash. 2 seconds to go in the half. This will be the last one, and Heritage Hall, Coach Bogart over there across the way says, hey, let's ice them. Cliff, I don't know if I've seen a kicker ice in a high school game in a while, but the Heritage Hall staff says, we've got these timeouts over here. We might as well use them. So a timeout with 2 seconds left to go. But, Cliff, it's been interesting in this game. You have 2 teams, again, they've never played, even though you've seen each other in 7-on-7. But you could kind of feel the first quarter, they were both kind of feeling each other out, and now they're like, okay, here's how we can attack, really kind of from both sides.
Yeah, exactly. Like you said, just the first quarter, it's the first quarter of the season. And so the teams are trying to put into practice what they've been practicing in the heat and try to put it all together, do what they're asked to do. And it just took a little time for these teams to get rolling. But I think both are in a pretty good spot right now on both sides of the ball. I think they feel pretty good defensively. And I think offensively both teams feel really good, even though they haven't put up a ton of points. but you've definitely seen it pick up here in the second quarter.
Field goal by Honeycutt. Snap is down. Kick is on the way, and it is good. He drills it to end the half. Great job by Honeycutt as the Saints have an 18-15 lead on the 18. They trail the game 18-15, but cut into the lead with the field goal opportunity. So Cliff, a big drive right there. You get some points, and great job by Honeycutt of kind of finishing off the half with a good field goal.
Absolutely. I mean, we wanted to get 6, put it in the end zone as we talked about, but for sure you want to go out of the half here in these the last 4 minutes of the first half and put some points on the board. Brings you just a little bit closer. You're within 3. Coming out of halftime, the Saints get the ball, and both teams going at halftime, kind of correct some things and talk about things that coaches notice that they need to do real well. Come back in the second half, and I think you'll see both teams come out firing here in the second half.
So that drive constructed by C.R. Crawford ends the half. Halftime here, Heritage Hall 18, Shiloh 15. We'll kick it down to the field for some halftime entertainment and come back with our second half. 18-15, Heritage Hall at the half.
Tonight I'm not taking no calls 'cause I'll be dancing. I'll be dancing. I'll be dancing. By the way you blowing up my phone won't make me leave no faster. Now put my coat on faster. Leave my goals no faster. Should've left my phone at home 'cause this is a disaster. Cut like a collector. Sorry I cannot answer. Stop calling. I don't wanna think anymore. I left my head and my heart on the dance floor. Stop calling. I don't wanna talk anymore. I left my head and my heart on the dance floor.
Now welcome to the field, your varsity, Tennessee.
Your word is mine. Won't take you right. Just show your face. Broad daylight. I'm telling you on how I feel. Gonna catch your mind. Don't you dare jump on. Get on me. And they say it's stifling. And to me this will be true. But my friend, you have seen nothing. There's a way to I'm bad. Jump on. You know I'm bad. You know it.
destined for the win cause he planned it. Who can stand against Jehovah and he see my banner? Marching through the city, shake the ground. The Jericho walls coming down. And you know we destined for the win cause he planned it. Who can stand against Jehovah and he see my banner? Marching through the city, shake the ground. The Jericho walls coming down. Who can stand against the only one who is the crown? I send praises up to heaven and them blessings coming down. I done gave my life to Christ a couple times, no kidding around. Every time I lose my step, you never let me hit the ground. Cause you're strong when I'm weak, I won't ever face defeat. Drop my foes in the sea, I sit back and hold my peace. On this land, set my feet, so now it belong to me. Bro, these chains set me free, I'm right where I'm supposed to be. Boy, I was born to be great. Like 95, we on the rise, Lord help me carry this weight. I'm steady sliding in this time and I can't ever be late. And when those lights go dim, I'm meeting him right up to them gates. No, I won't ever lose faith. And you know we destined for the win cause he planned it. Who can stand against Jehovah and he see my banner? Marching through the city, shake the ground. The Jericho walls coming down. And you know we destined for the win cause he planned it. Who can stand against Jehovah and he see my banner? Marching through the city, shake the ground. The Jericho walls coming down. Chariots of fire, yeah, you know we bring the flame. I ain't trusting in my sword, only trusting in your name. I got God on my side, ain't no way that I could lose. You're the first and the last, but he never number two. Speed, pass, light, flash, dark, mad. Cause I got favor from my dad. Ready, attack, push enemy lines back. They waving them white flags, my aim got them turning back. Boy, I was born to be great. Like 95, we on the rise, Lord help me carry this weight. I'm steady sliding in this time and I can't ever be late. And when those lights go dim, I'm meeting him right up to them gates. No, I won't ever lose faith. And you know we destined for the win cause he planned it. Who can stand against Jehovah and he see my banner? Marching through the city, shake the ground. The Jericho walls coming down. And you know we destined for the win cause he planned it. Who can stand against Jehovah and he see my banner? Marching through the city, shake the ground. The Jericho walls coming down.
Tell them don't risk it. God got a life and I'm hoping you live it. I've been out driven. Came with the sauce and these haters start giving. No cowards. Me and my dogs came here to devour. This ours. I got an army, but trust in his power, yeah.
30, 20, down to 10. It don't matter. We gon' win all day. Flex up, no new flag. Flex up, may war. Don't forget. God bless me, y'all. God bless me, y'all. God trust me, y'all. Don't stress me, y'all. God bless me, y'all. God bless me, y'all. God trust me, y'all. Don't stress me, y'all.
I'm in my bag for the beginner. I give you a class. Isn't he bad? Bro, just wait till you witness a jab. I sentence was finished fast, cause he got up in the flash. The reapers, grippers, slipping dead. I can't do nothing but last. Strong on your soul, like prolong your soul. He don't hold out your soul. He so swell, we rest on. He so cheat code. I'm way too weak for my ego. But he gon' swing low. Hit a chariot and carry me home.
30, 20, down to 10. It don't matter. We gon' win all day. Flex up, no new flag. Flex up, may war. Don't forget. God bless me, y'all. God bless me, y'all. God trust me, y'all. Don't
My God got it. Yeah, he got it. Yeah, he got it. Yeah, he got it. My God got it. Yeah, he got it. Yeah, he got it. Yeah, he got it. When I'm feeling, yeah, he got it. When I'm feeling, yeah, he got it. God bless him, yeah, he got it. God bless him, my God got it. When I'm feeling, yeah, he got it. Feeling in my soul, he got it. God bless him, yeah, he got it. God bless him, my God got it. When I'm feeling down, oh, I know. God bless him, yeah. When I'm down, God bless him, yeah. Eyes on the target and the goal in my vision. Bang! I'm taking my shots. I ain't gonna stop. So like it or not, I ain't gonna knock. Yeah, they say the truth will set you free. Well, here I am. God only, I ain't never fear a man. I'm from royalty, so blow your clarinet. I got stripes on me like a pair of stands. I got the confidence. Yeah, call me a monster. Yeah, I'm from the bottom, I'm from the lava. How can I not be this lit? I'm the embodiment. 'Cause all in all, I'm a winner, never lose, never giving. I don't even know that language. I ain't never been a quitter. All I know is that work ain't gotta tell me how to get it. With my eyes on the target and the goal in my vision. Bang! I'm taking my shots. I ain't gonna stop. So like it or not, I ain't gonna knock. Stop playing like you don't know I'm a problem with it. Stop trying to put a ceiling on me, I ain't got a limit. I'm breaking through walls, I'm kicking in doors. You cannot afford to tell me no, I won't be ignored. Yeah, okay, yeah. I tell them to tell all my enemies. None of your haters offended me. So you ain't killing my energy. I know my people depend on me heavily, yeah. Stay on top like I'm heavenly. I'm a good look like I'm a Kennedy, yeah. I'm on a roll, I'm in the zone. Been here before. You can't stop me 'cause I got the glow. I got the glow. When they was telling me no, they said I was doing the most. I had to kick in the door. They wasn't killing my. 'Cause all in all, I'm a winner, never lose, never giving. I don't even know that language. I ain't never been a quitter. All I know is that work ain't gotta tell me how to get it. With my eyes on the target and the goal in my vision. Bang! I'm taking my shots. I ain't gonna stop. So like it or not, I ain't gonna knock. Stop playing like you don't know I'm a problem with it. Stop trying to put a ceiling on me, I ain't got a limit. I'm breaking through walls, I'm kicking in doors. You cannot afford to tell me no, I won't be ignored.
Gave away the liquor, I'm sipping a smoothie, yo. Married to a saint, I ain't messing with groupie. Heal from all my traumas, my life is a movie, though. I only speak the truth when I get in the studio. They say, oh, he done switched up the vibe. I seen that once, I seen that twice. Oh, he done switched up the life. I ain't never going back this time I'ma keep it player like I'm supposed to do. Easy to be MVP when D.O.D. is coaching you. Things get rough, you gotta toughen up, boy, he be sculpting you. Feeling my emotions, you get motion when he's molding you. Okay, dog, I came from the dirt. Kool-Aid stains on the shirt. If you force it, but it ain't what's meant for you, then it won't work. Ain't gotta see if I still got it. I'm with wifey and we flirt. Everything is natural. We at the crib when she get birthed. I'm a smooth operator, ain't got doppelgangers. Only one that's like me, homie. How can you a hater? I said bye, see you later. Sign it, ain't no waiver. Now we moving major. Only constant is a change up. I said, oh, he done switched up the vibe. I seen that once, I seen that twice. Oh, he done switched up the life. I ain't never going back this time. I'ma lead it, switch up. going back this time. I'ma lead a switch up. Gave away the gear and the ego is beautiful. Would love to come and kick it. I'm on daddy duty though. So much more to living than gripping the booty. Whoa. Y'all be out here running around with the cooties though. I'm like, oh, he done switched up the vibe. I seen that once, I seen that twice. Oh, he done switched up the life. I ain't never going back this time. This time I'ma pop out, top down, by the whole block out. College dropout, been rapping since college dropout. At my pop's house, I thought I was Lil Bow Wow. Have faith in me, I'm giving it up to God now. Stop how you don't believe.
Welcome back to Champion Stadium here in Springdale. Halftime as the Heritage Hall Chargers have an 18-15 lead over the Shiloh Christian Saints. We're about a minute and a half before we get ready to start the second half. Saints will get the ball as we get ready to go here in the second half. So Shiloh with a field goal as we got ready to end the first half by Honeycutt. Cut the lead to 3. So Saints have scored on the last 3 drives after being shut out in the first quarter as we go through. So Cliff, as we kind of look at some first half stats, Cole Creighton had like 13 yards passing in the first quarter, but he was able to get it going in the second quarter, and the offense did as well.
Yeah, he really did. 12 of 17 for 164 yards, 1 touchdown. He rushed. He's leading rusher, which is this is really kind of hard to believe. Leading rusher for Shiloh tonight, 4 carries for 20 yards. The other rushers have had a few carries tonight. Charlie Kroll, 3 carries, 8 yards, just really not finding anything on the ground. Shiloh hasn't really run the ball a whole lot, and we'll see if they can step that up here in the second half and get something going on the ground game. Max Eldridge, 3 carries, 8 yards as well. And then just, I won't go through the receivers. Nobody's really got a ton of yardage there other than the long pass to Cohen Beach, the 71-yarder for the touchdown pass, Cole Creighton to Cohen Beach.
We get ready to start the second half. A few 7A scores just to kind of keep you updated on some other things that are going on around the state. Bryant leads Benton 14-7. That game's late in the first half. Springdale and Muskogee, Oklahoma tied at 13 as they start the third quarter. We've got Little Rock Central trailing Sylvan Hills 27-13. Of course, Sylvan Hills, who the Saints beat in the 6A semifinals last year. Little Rock Christian with a 10-0 lead over Harding. That game's in the second quarter. And then Bentonville leads Tulsa Union 7-0 in the third quarter. And late in the second quarter, it's Bentonville West 14 and Greenwood 10. The only other 2 scores, Stillwater, Oklahoma 14, Purple Dogs of Fayetteville zip, and Broken Arrow leads Harbor 20-0 late in the second quarter. So we'll get ready to kick it off here to start the second half. And so, Cliff, we talked about the middle 4. We kind of ended it okay by getting the field goal. We'd like to get a first down here and just get this going here in the second half. Take this lead back.
Absolutely. You ended the half with a field goal. We get the ball back. Let's have a good drive here. Drive down the field, get the lead back, and see if we can get a defensive stop.
Nance on the return to the 10, to the 15, and he's going to be taken down at the 18. Well, the kicking game definitely a weapon for Heritage Hall, as they are just kind of pinning Silas in the corner over there and trying to get a return of what they can. So 1st and 10, Saints going to start inside the 20 again on this drive. Saints wearing their kind of throwback royal blue jerseys, as they've kind of done in the opening game the last couple of years. Wearing those tonight with the traditional gold helmets. Heritage Hall's got a blue and a gold helmet. They're wearing the blue version of that tonight with the all-white jerseys. Is a 1st and 10 for Cole Creighton. Going to hand it off right up the middle. Big hole for Max. He breaks it to the 30, breaks a tackle, stays on his feet. Look at Max go to the 35-yard line, and Eldridge kind of sets the tone as we start the second half. He pops it out to the 35-yard line, a pickup 16 on the first play. Boy, Heritage having trouble getting lined up as the Saints get ready to snap it quick. They are all over the place. Handoff Eldridge. He breaks 1 tackle, and he just fights his way up to the 40-yard line. So tempo really effective there for the Saints as Eldridge picks up 5 on that carry out to the 40-yard line. 11:36 just underway in the third quarter. Saints trail by 3, 18-15 to Heritage Hall. Rolling right, Creighton looking, has time, fires. It's caught by Beach, takes a big hit right at the first down stick. Official's going to stop the clock because that's a Saint first down. So Shiloh's come out quickly, firing up to the 45-yard line for the first down. So Cliff, you can correct me wrong, I believe that's Beach's first catch of the evening.
Well, Beach had the 71-yard.
I'm sorry, besides that one, that's correct. Creighton rolls, looks, has time, and doesn't have anything, and just going to slide down at the 44-yard line. So Cole officially with a 1-yard sack right there. So, yeah, you're right, Cliff. They had the big bomb, but that's the only other catch that Beach has had to go through. So 11 minutes as the clock hits, and they'll spot Cole back at the 43. So officially a loss of 2 right there on the sack. 2nd and 12. Cole going to run right up the middle, 45 midfield, breaks a tackle, and he slides down at the 48 of Heritage Hall. So Creighton's going to pick up about 8 right there to the 48. So 3rd down and 5 for the Saints at the Heritage Hall 48 as Shiloh's cross midfield about a minute and a half into the quarter. Silas Nance is going to get shifted behind the back. They're going to throw it to Silas. He's got some room to the 50 to the 45. Great blocks out there by Barnard, and I think that was Beach. Yeah, it was Beach. The good blocks out there. Silas Nance takes it to the 40-yard line, and that's a 1st down. So Shiloh moving the ball quickly here early in quarter 3. Silas in motion, handoff Charlie Krell. Charlie powers forward down to, he may have fumbled the football at the 38-yard line. Well, if he did, Charlie got it back. So at the 38, looking at the Heritage Hall sideline, I think they thought the ball was loose. But at the 38, they'll shift the entire defensive line out, trying to get some fresh bodies in there as the Saints, again, running that quick tempo. At the 38, Beach comes across in motion this way. Creighton rolls this way. He's going to fire to Beach high. It didn't complete at the 32-yard line. Pretty well covered there by Heritage Hall, intended for Beach. So 3rd down and 8 for the Saints. Obviously, at a position right here, you would go for it on 4th down if you can just keep a positive play to go through. As the Saints will look to the sidelines. They'll run trips to the left. It'll be Beach along with Nance and Max Eldridge out there. They got Bodenstein in the backfield flanking Creighton. Cole back to pass, has good protection. Pocket breaks down. Cole's going to fire. Caught at the 20. Silas Nance, he's going to be taken off his feet hard at the 18-yard line. Great pass by Creighton. I think he was thinking about running, and then all of a sudden saw Nance flash open over the middle and fired it with his foot right on the line of where he could step and throw it. Down to the 18. 1st down Saints. Shiloh moves the ball. They're going to send Barnard in motion across the formation. They fired it out here to Barnard. Gets 2 great blocks to the 15. Cuts back to the 11. Takes a big hit at around the 10-yard line. He'll be just short of the 1st down. So Barnard took a big hit, but he held on to the ball, and it's 2nd down and 2 for the Saints. So Tate with an 8-yard reception. Saints kind of moving it around right here. Good motion. Max in the backfield. He gets it. Creighton keeps it to the 5. Cole's outside. He's in the end zone. Touchdown, Shiloh. Cole, Creighton. He got a great block from Silas Nance on the edge, and right there, Silas kind of lets his guy know about it a little bit. So Cole steps in the end zone. Touchdown, Shiloh, as the Saints with 9:01 to go in the 3rd quarter take the lead 21-18. And, man, Cliff, much like the Heritage Hall defense, I need a break. That was quick.
Well, I need a break too. You've been doing all the talking. I've been doing all the writing. What a drive by Shiloh coming out of the half. A drive they really needed, and you just saw that they really wanted to step up the tempo, pick it up. They picked it up through the air, picked it up on the ground, put it in the end zone. Exactly. The kick is up, and the kick is good. Exactly what Shiloh Saints needed coming out of the half.
So here's our replay of the pass, or actually the touchdown run by Cole. Creighton's kind of handed it off. So Shiloh takes the lead back, 22 to 18 with the extra point.
That Saints scoring drive constructed by C.R. Crawford.
So thanks for C.R. Crawford with our touchdown. You see our student Saints wearing the whiteout this home game, first one of the crowd. So crowd has filled up here as the night has come across the evening. So 9:01 to go. As you see the whiteout for the first home game of the season, crowd packed, and they'll be getting a chance to get packed back next week as our friends from Little Rock Christian head this way. Saints with a lead, 22-18, up by 4. As Honeycutt will get ready to kick it off. Everett back deep for Heritage Hall. Waiting on the official. There's the whistle to go, and the kick. Everett's going to let it bounce and back into the end zone. Perfect. Touchback for the Saints. So that will put Heritage Hall at their own 20-yard line with a 1st and 10. Saints go down the field quickly. 9:01 to go here in the 3rd quarter. 22-18. Our score in favor of Shiloh as they take the lead back for the 2nd time tonight in this game. So Heritage Hall kind of figuring out what personnel they want to use as the play clock gets set to go through their first possession of the half. So Cliff, what you wanted to do right there was follow up. You got a field goal to end the half and a touchdown to start the half. Now it's defense's turn to set their own tone.
Absolutely, we need our defense to step up right here. Force a 4 and out, maybe a turnover, get the ball back, and let's get some more points on the scoreboard.
Iser going to take the handoff. He's hit at the line of scrimmage, nothing doing. Good job by the Saints right there. Whole bunch of guys were in on the tackles. Iser got taken down hard. Big defensive lineman for the Saints right there. It looks like Silas Nance came flying up in the box to make the stop, and also in there, looks like the freshman Vincent Island is in there for the first time tonight, along with Kimbrough. So 2nd down and 9. You'll give them a gain of 1. So, Cliff, we have one freshman playing up in varsity football here, Vincent Island. He's on the defensive line right now, brings a lot of size on that front. They'll help us up with some depth there. 2nd and 9, back to the pistol formation. Here is Iser's in the backfield, and Heritage Hall doesn't like something, and they take a timeout. And boy, Cliff, in this type of game, it's always interesting to burn a timeout here early in the third quarter.
Timeout,
So
Heritage Hall.
Heritage Hall takes a timeout. We will as well. You're watching Shiloh Christian football.
Roush Companies, improving your world, one industry at a time.
Welcome back to Champion Stadium. So Heritage Hall takes a timeout on 2nd down and 9 at their own 20 early in the third quarter. So you hope that timeout matters, that they'll need it later in the game as the Saints are trying to maybe run some clock out. So ball will be at the 21-yard line as we start 2nd down and 9. Saint defense trying to get a stop. Heritage Hall scored on their last couple possessions after starting off the game with a safety on a bad snap on a punt, 2-0. That's kind of why you see a little bit of an odd score, 22-18 here to go. So Heritage, let's see what they dialed up. They've really only taken one deep shot in the game so far. Let's see if they go back to it as they'll send a man in motion across the formation. Play action, they're going to bump it that way. It's bought by Everett. What a catch at the 23. Spins at the 25, stays on his feet, and climbs and kind of drives forward to the 29-yard line. So what a great catch by Everett. The ball was behind him. He reached back, kind of tipped it to himself, made the catch. But Everett is down on the field. So he was kind of gimpy a little bit in the first half. And Cliff, it looks like, I think I was going to be fortunate, a cramp, but to go through. So, you know, Cliff, early in the season, you see cramps like that, especially in the hot. It's very humid out here tonight, and I don't know that Everett's come off the field. He's been on special teams in both ways. So
yeah, he really has. He's played great so far. You know, if you're Heritage Hall, you want him out there. I know if Everett was on our team, I want him out there. He's one of the best athletes on the field. You just see how explosive he is when he gets the ball, reads the field really well, reads the lanes to run through, knows when to cut. And so he's up and he's walking off, and they'll get some fluids in him, and I'm sure he'll be back out on the field as soon as he can.
So 7:56 to go here in the third quarter. It's going to be a 3rd down and a long 2 for Heritage Hall at just inside the 28-yard line, but they're going to have to do it without Everett, although we've seen Iser, their other running back, be effective when he's had some opportunities tonight. They've used the quick passing game as well, so Iser will be in the game for Heritage Hall. They'll have England, the big, tall, 5'11" senior out here, receiver as well. So it's going to be 3rd down. Let's see if the Saint defense can get off the field. Hard snap. They don't move. They hand. Oh, it's a busted play. The quarterback's going to try to run, and he gets to the 29, but he's short of the 1st down. So it was a kind of a busted snap. The running back went one direction. The quarterback had turned around to hand it off. He had nobody to hand it off to. Good job by Lawson. He didn't get hit in the backfield. He got maybe a half a yard, but 4th and 1. And, man, what a tough decision across the way for Coach Bogert right here. Do you go for it and risk going for it at your own 29 as you're already trailing by 4? He's keeping the offense on the field at the moment. We'll see. Play clock's at 13, so plenty of time there. They break the huddle. They've got Iser in the backfield. It's 4th down and 1 at the own 29. This could be one of the big plays of the game right here. The Heritage Hall, play clock at 1. They hand it off to Iser. He doesn't get it. He's stuffed in the backfield. The St. defense stuffs him. Great job by the Shiloh defensive front. Benson Island, one of the guys up front who got there along with Tate Barnard, and Shiloh with a stop. And boy, Cliff, we've got 1 or 2 offensive linemen down for Heritage Hall to go through. But hey, what a great job by the defense, Cliff. We talked, maybe that could be a momentum-changing play in this game.
Oh, it really is, and we'll see what the lineman number 51 gets up now, and he is hobbling off the field, so hopefully he can get back in there when he needs to for Heritage Hall. But yeah, what a great stop for that St. defense. They just clogged up the middle, no holes for the runner to go through for the Chargers. And we've just seen that time and time and time again through the years. It seems like just big plays at key times of games, Billy. We've seen the St. defense just put up a wall, and they did it right there.
So ball at the 29-yard line. Saints got a chance to take a 2-score lead for the first time. Handoff Max right up the middle. Good tackle there by the defensive front of Heritage Hall. Eldridge is taken down at the 27-yard line, pickup of 2. Heritage Hall was really struggling to get some personnel groupings off the field right before that snap, but it worked out okay from them. Saints will get set with Beach to the left. Handoff, Max coming right, got guards pulling to the 15, picks his way down to the 12. The ball comes loose, and I think Heritage Hall has it. It's right on the, yep, they do. Heritage Hall recovers. Eldridge got hit, the ball popped up in the air, and then recovering is Trip Thomas for Heritage Hall. So a big defensive stand by the Shiloh defense holds Heritage Hall on a 4th down in their own territory, and then the Heritage Hall defense comes up with their own big stop as they get a turnover, not in the red zone, but right at it at the 22, as Eldridge fumbled there as he got hit. The ball popped up, and Heritage Hall recovers. So these two teams, boy, they just keep going back and forth, making plays. One makes a play, the other one makes a play. Heritage makes that play, and the Chargers will have 1st down at their own 22-yard line. Iser in the backfield as he's to the right of Lawson, waiting on the official to, I think they're trying to pick up the beanbag that they had thrown to spot the football. So there they go, they blow the whistle. 6:27 to go in the quarter, 22-18. The Saint lead, back to pass, throws it deep down the field, one-on-one, incomplete at the 46-yard line. It was intended for Trip Thomas there. And we've got number 4, Porter England, who's cramping up, and so is number 1 over here, Thomas, as well, to go through. So we talked kind of a little bit about, Cliff, just the humidity of the night. It's hot, it's been the sun, and you've seen that a little bit to go through. So while we've got a break in the action, we'll kick it down to Hal Ramsey on the field. So Hal, the offensive line, after a little bit of a struggle in the first quarter or so, they've really been able to push the pile here in the early part of the 3rd quarter. So number 4 coming off the field is England for Heritage Hall. So they will help him off the field. Just cramps. Thankfully, nobody, even the officials, taking a water break from the head coach of Heritage Hall. Is everybody trying to keep the cramps up on kind of a hot, muggy night. First game of the season here in Northwest Arkansas. Temperatures have been around 100 for feels like 3 weeks, Cliff, and it was around there today too. So you're not surprised to see players, no matter how much Gatorade you drink, sometimes you can't help that cramping up. So at the 22, it's going to be 2nd and 10 for Heritage Hall, and you've got field position, Cliff. You'd like to keep it right here, force a punt.
Yeah, absolutely. You got 2nd and long here for the Chargers. We need this defense of the Shiloh to get another stop here, 2 stops, and force a punt. Let's see if we can create a turnover of our own after Shiloh fumbling the ball on their last drive.
Quick hitter in the flat. They're going to go back to Everett, who's in the game. He gets a yard at the most. It's going to be 3rd down. So that quick little hitter that they've liked to have been so effective with tonight for Heritage Hall, nothing doing right there. Saints with multiple players there. Brody Francis, one of the first guys there, along with Corbin Miller, who made the stop. So 3rd down for Heritage Hall at the 23-yard line. Shiloh trying to get off the field, 3rd and 9. They're going to send Thomas, who's kind of been their deep threat. They're going to send him all the way to the right side of the field. He is 1 of 1 over here. Now they're going to send a man in motion, back to pass. It's a delayed draw. This isn't going to fool that Saint defense. Hit at the 18-yard line. Max Eldridge, Matt Kimbrough were right back there. Well, they've gone to that play a couple times tonight on 3rd and long, just tried to fake a pass, hand off the quick draw. Saints said, nope, we're not falling for that one. And on to punt will be Heritage Hall with Beach back deep.
Again, guys that we called their names a lot last year led the team in tackles. You had Corbin Miller on the tackle there, Kimbrough, Eldridge, 3 of their top tacklers from a season ago, just picking up where they left off.
So 4th down and on to punt is Butler. Butler had a great punt early in this game, 61 yards, flipped the field. Back to punt here. This one isn't near as good. Beach is going to see it hit at the 50, and he's just going to get away from it. It's going to roll for about 7 or 8 more yards. So Butler's been very good tonight punting the ball. Gets this one here. It's going to be a 42-yard punt as the Saints get it at the 40-yard line. But great job by the Saint defense. They got a stop on the opening drive. They get a quick possession turnover after the Saints turned it over, and then right back is the Saint defense to get a punt right there to get the football back. So Shiloh will start at their own 40 as we get this drive here. Obviously the last drive ended in a turnover. Try to fix that here with the drive here in the half. Saints 22, Heritage Hall 18, 4:47 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Carell's going to go to the left of Creighton. He's going to hand the ball going right, and that's not going to work as Heritage Hall hits him in the backfield as a man got off his block and just absolutely dominant right there. So big number 74 up front on the Heritage Hall defensive line. Riley Walker, 6'1", 260-pound defensive lineman, made the play for Heritage Hall. So a loss back to the 35. Saints just haven't been able to get Charlie going tonight in the run game. Bodenstein's to the left of Creighton. Now 2nd and long. Sabatini in motion, back to pass, screen coming this way. It's caught by Bodenstein to the 40, the 45. He has a man kind of jump on his back and sort of ride him up to the 49-yard line. Pick up a 14. It's Saints needed 15. They get 14, but 3rd down and 1. Shiloh will go quickly. Creighton with a good snap, handed off right up the middle. Saints are going to get the 1st down. Across the 50 to the 47-yard line is Krell. So good job tempo right there. You just could tell Heritage Hall just couldn't get set quick enough as the Saints snapped it quickly and get it at the 47. 1st down, Bodenstein shifts to a tight end to the right. They're going to send Beach in motion, coming this way. They're going to throw it to Beach. Caught at midfield to the 45, and he's going to be taken down at the 44-yard line. So a pickup of 3. Heritage Hall coaching staff a little frustrated. They thought they had a block in the back that should have been called, and no call by the official on this side. Heritage Hall's got a player down. That's number 19, Walker Weddle, and it looks like the same thing, just cramps hitting him as well. Weddle is a senior. He hasn't done a lot in the offensive side of the game tonight, but obviously one of their better defensive players for Weddle. So he'll walk off the field. But, Cliff, first game of the season, and, your players, you sometimes, because of the wet bulb situation, you have to go indoors at times. It's really hard to get your body ready for this first game of the season, particularly if you're playing both ways.
Yeah, and with as warm as it's been, not just here in Northwest Arkansas, but Oklahoma City has experienced that as well, where Heritage Hall comes from. So it's been hot for everybody, and a lot of teams have indoors these days, and you can practice indoors, and that helps. But it really doesn't help your body get ready for the elements when you play on Friday night. These games are outdoor. You're going to play in the elements, whatever it is. Tonight it's warm weather, and thankfully the humidity's low. It's not just sticky out there. It does feel like an early fall day, but it still is warm. It's been warm all week for these guys practicing. So, yeah, all teams in the South and Midwest, they're experiencing the same weather this weekend.
At the 44, handoff to Krell, hitting the backfield. Charlie breaks away, though, still trying to run, and Charlie's going to get back to about the 48, 49-yard line, but a loss of about 3 or 4 on that play back to the 48. So Krell, we have another player down this time for Heritage Hall. Also looks like hopefully a cramp right there. You hope it's not anything else more serious. Kind of holding, yeah, they're good. It's going to be a cramp for, looks like that's Jackson Llewellyn, the senior defensive lineman for Heritage Hall. So.
And I'll say one thing about cramps, Billy, and you've seen this too, and watching games and covering and coaching yourself, that and once you get a cramp, it's tough to, and you experienced it last night with Matthew in the 8th grade game. He had some cramps going on. Once it hits you in the game, it's tough to get past that. I mean, you just kind of have to deal with it the rest of the game. Get hydrated, you work the cramp out, you get back in. But as we're seeing here, guys go out, they come back in, and then it happens to them again. So, you know, if you're out there playing, you won't be one of the ones at the end of the night that didn't have the cramp, because you know you're able to just give it your all the whole game.
22-18, Shiloh with the lead, 3:17 to go in the third quarter. It's kind of slowed down tempo a little bit here as Creighton fires. It's going to be caught and dropped. They're going to say it's incomplete at the 39-yard line. Intended there for Brody Heyman. Brody had it, but as he got hit by number 1, Trip Thomas, the defensive back, he's able to rip it out. So 4th and 11, and the defense gets a stop. Even if he was able to catch that one, Heyman, it still would have been short of the first down. He needed about 4 or 5 more yards. So Cole Creighton will be back to punt. Max Everett back deep to receive for Heritage Hall, standing at his own 15-yard line. Boy, you'd love for Cole to kick this away from him and pin those guys inside the 10 if you could. So Creighton can kick it about 35, maybe 40 yards in the air, usually is what we've seen out of Cole. He kicks it right here. It's going to hit at the 20 to the 15, the 10. Oh, stop ball. Saints, can they down it at the 1? Let it grab it. Yes, they do. Shiloh pins them at the 1, even better than the 10, Cliff. Will down it at the 1-yard line. So great kick by Cole Creighton. He kicked it 47 yards, and that's perfect, Cliff, because we had 48 before the end zone. So you'll take that, as we'll start Heritage back at their own 1-yard line. And so, Cliff, I think we're due a safety. They got one on us earlier in the game. Let's get one right back right here.
Yes, let's do it. Let's have this defense get some defensive pressure in the backfield like they did on Heritage's last drive, where Shiloh stopped them on 4th and 1. Just penetrated the line of scrimmage, got the stop, got the turnover on downs. And if we can get a 1-yard loss here, we will have a safety and add a few more points to the score.
So 2:56 to go in the third quarter. Heritage Hall is going to start this drive from their own 1-yard line, trailing by 4, 22-18. So one of these situations here, you also have to be careful, because a deep ball, there's just nobody back there if they throw something deep. So let's see what Heritage has to do. They're going to go in the pistol formation with Eisner in the backfield. Snap, they hand it to him going this way. He gets out of the end zone and really gets back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a half yard. That's it.
Maybe a half yard, looking at the side official there. So Heritage is trying to get a little breathing room away from their goal line. Shiloh trying to find a seam and hit them in the backfield.
So 2nd down, and we'll call it 9, as they'll give him about a half yard, maybe a full yard out to the 2. Hall's going to keep Iser in the back behind Lawson, again out of the pistol formation. Snap, they want to throw. They fire it out in the flat. All over him is Croft, incomplete, intended for number 1, Trip Thomas. So great coverage there by the Saints, and it's 3rd down. And then, Cliff, if you're thinking about this from a Heritage Hall perspective, it's important even to get yardage right here, because if you don't even get your normal punting depth if you have to punt out of your own end zone here. So big play, any yards that Heritage gains here is important. Otherwise, they're going to punt on them basically as short. The Saints have got pressure a couple times on the punting game tonight, but also it doesn't give your kicker an opportunity to get his normal depth, so you don't get the distance either. 3rd down, they're going to send Thomas out to the left. He'll be one-on-one with Floyd out there. Saints are going to shift a little bit of a safety kind of a look on 3rd down. There's going to be a play action, back to pass, fires over the middle, man, wide open, 15 to the 20, and taking off his feet at the 21-yard line. But a huge play for Heritage Hall. They're able to come right out, and they flat. So they hit number 20 right there, wide open over the middle of the field. That's Austin King, the tight end. He's made a couple big catches for Heritage Hall and gets him out of the hole up to the 21-yard line. And speaking of cramps, we've got one right here for the Saints. As I think that's Silas Nance. Hard to 100% see the jersey, but we'll go check on Silas. So players really struggling in this heat right now here in the third quarter. But, Cliff, that was a big play in the game for Heritage Hall. They get out of their own end zone.
It really was, and I was thinking in my mind, I know it's easy to say this after the play, but I promise I was thinking this, I just didn't say it. And that was, Heritage has had a few times tonight where they've capitalized on middle of the field being open, bringing someone out of the backfield, and just hitting. They hit a tight end earlier in the game across the middle for a big gain. And I thought this is the perfect opportunity when you just kind of been maybe setting that play up with a few runs, not having any success from that, and then just finding the crease, and Heritage executed it, and it was at a point when they needed to, third and staring at their own goal line, and then to move the ball down the field, pick up the first down. Silas Nance did have cramp. He's off the field, so that's good. But Heritage Hall, 22, 21-yard line of their own side of the field, but they're not staring at their goal line anymore.
At the 21, as Cliff mentioned, Heritage is going to run a player off the field. They had 12 in the huddle. Now they're going to have to run the same player back on the field to get the 11 back. So Iser in the backfield, he'll figure out what the play call is. Play clock hasn't been even set yet, so they're plenty good there. There's a snap. They play action to Iser, and the quarterback keeps it. He's looking, fires. There's a flag down at the 25. The pass is caught and out of bounds at the 30-yard line by Everett. There's a flag right in the middle of the field, and it may be a man downfield, Cliff. It's kind of
I don't know. Brody Francis got up. Number 1 for Shiloh got up. We'll see what the call is here. I think it's holding.
During the run, we have hold. White, number 75, the 10-yard penalty. On the spot of the foul, we'll repeat first down.
Yeah, Brody goes trying to get away from a block and go make a tackle, and he just pulled to the ground, and then Brody gets up immediately, and he's like, that was so obvious of a hold, and the official saw it, threw the flag. And where the hold was, way back at the line of scrimmage, it backs Heritage Hall up 10 yards from the line of scrimmage. So now it's still first down, but 1st and 20 now.
So Heritage Hall kind of subbing some different guys. Seen a couple different receivers that we haven't seen tonight out to the wide side. So let's what to do. Saints show blitz. It's a bubble screen. He's hit, and he's sacked at the 6-yard line. 3 Saints are back there to get him. Brody Francis was the last one to get to the party. Matt Kimbrough was there. I think Mac will get the sack. So back at the 5-yard line, Heritage Hall going the wrong way. Right there is a Saint defense. Well, Cliff, they didn't hide it right there. They showed the blitz, and they came, and Heritage had no answer for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just tough to, if you're the quarterback, it's tough to run any play and get the pass off or pick up any positive yardage when you got 3 guys right in your face as soon as you catch the ball. So offensive line just missing some blocks there for Heritage Hall. Pay dividends for the Saint defense.
Well, at the 5-yard line, Saints got to be really smart here. Don't let anything get open. They got to get all the way to the 31 for a first down. See if Heritage just tries to run it and get some yardage. They're going to run us. He's hitting the backfield. There's our safety. There's our safety. We called it, Cliff. Just one possession late. Shiloh with a sack in the end zone. Back-to-back sacks. Saints get that 2 points back that they lost earlier in the game. And Shiloh takes a 24-18 lead. As Shiloh with a big safety right there. So back-to-back sacks by the defense, and we'll get a replay of it right here.
Now, you know, if you're Coach Holly, defensive coordinator for Shiloh, you are just loving what you see from Corbin Miller, I believe. Number 42, he just bypasses the blocker and just gets in the quarterback's face, wraps him up, gets him on the ground, and Shiloh, as you said, gets their safety back. And again, Coach Holly, defensive coordinator for Shiloh, loving what he's seeing from this defense.
Well, the Saints get a safety, and the one that they gave up early in the game, they got it back as the score goes to 24-18 with 40 seconds left to go here late in the 3rd quarter. You see the moon kind of shining out. I looked, Cliff, just a second ago as you were talking about the heat humidity. So we're still in the mid-80s with about 50% humidity. So you can see why our players both sides just really struggling in this heat. There's been a little bit of breeze blowing, not much. Kind of picked up the most it's been all night. Right now, kind of blowing toward the Shiloh stands, but been a hot night as you expect opening in the season. So the Saints this time will go with 4 guys back deep as Heritage Hall will get their opportunity to kick off from the 20 after giving up a safety. 24-18 Shiloh, 40 seconds to go in the quarter. Big kick all the way down to the 25 to the 30, straight up the field, 35, 40, 45 midfield, and then going to be taken down there. Good coverage after they kind of got up to it, so it's a little bit difficult right there. I think that was Brody Heyman on the return. So good coverage by Heritage Hall after Brody kind of got to the middle of the pack, but boy, just so difficult when you kick off from your own 20 to cover that kickoff. But Shiloh really, for the first time tonight, with an opportunity to kind of go up 2 scores with a little bit of momentum, with 31 seconds left to go here in the third quarter. And Cliff, I'm gonna say what you were thinking a second ago. I think we're about to go one deep right here. Let's see if we take a shot. Just kind of get the feeling that that momentum is right there for that opportunity. So 31 seconds to go in the quarter. Creighton rolls this way, looking, fires down the field. There's going to be a flag. There it goes. It took a little while to get it, but the pass incomplete. Beach got just flat out tackled at the 36-yard line. The defender right there, number 1, Thomas, he didn't argue that one all. He just kind of got up and walked right back to the huddle. So they'll fix Beach's shoulder pads as they kind of got ripped off. So it's going to give the Saints a first down with a 15-yard penalty. Now remember, in high school football, a little bit different.
Billy, I see a flag in the backfield too, so
they have offsetting.
I'll say if there's a hold.
We have 2 fouls on the play, holding on the offense, defensive pass interference on the defense. Those penalties will offset. We'll replay first down.
That's a good eye, Cliff, because his flag isn't exactly bright yellow. It's laying at the 43. Or maybe the way the light's hitting it. I don't know. Either way, so we'll just replay the down and start back over like it never happened there. So thankfully the defensive penalty helped wipe off the holding call.
You sticking with your previous play call?
Still think we're going to take a shot. But we did have, on that play, we did have Beach going deep. Cole just took the out route because that was the best option available. Was turned out to be the right call. At the 48, so it's going to be first down for the Saints, as we'll just pretend like the last one never happened. There's an end around coming this way. Barnard, he's going to try to get outside. Can't do it. Chopped down at the 47-yard line. Nice open field tackle there by number 24 for Heritage Hall as he gets in the open spot. So Austin Elkak, this sophomore linebacker, makes the stop. Saints will come this way. 6 seconds to go as we will run down to the end of the third quarter. Saints will take a 24-18 lead as we end quarter number 3. So Cliff, a good quarter for the Saints. You get the lead back and you add to it a little bit.
Yeah, you do. We've got 1 quarter to play. Anybody's game. I know Shiloh's up 6 here. They would like to have another score here and go up 2 scores, as you mentioned earlier. And every possession counts now. I mean, every possession counts during the game, but you can kind of go with the flow and have some stops, have some scores, whatever. Now, in a 1-score game, this fourth quarter, these next 12 minutes are critical for the Saints if they want to hold a win here on their home field, opening the 2026 season with a win against a quality opponent. If you're Heritage Hall, made the long bus trip over from Oklahoma City area, boy, you want to try to steal a win if you can here. And you've got 2 really good teams. I mean, both these teams are going to be successful throughout this season. I talked about earlier just what Heritage Hall has done in their history. 479 total wins for this football program, only 187 losses. 62-7 over the past 5 seasons these Chargers have been.
So at the 47-yard line, Creighton's going to hand it off Krell. Charlie's going to get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Stuffed right there. So third down and long coming up for the Saints. So Shiloh trying to get a little bit of yardage there to make the third down a little bit more manageable, but Krell hit in the backfield. Got to give this defense credit of Heritage Hall holding the Saints to 24 points so far in this game, 2 of which have come on their own offense. They gave up with a safety. So see what Shiloh can do here on third and long. Creighton back to pass, has good protection, rolls up in the pocket, looking, throws down the field. It is caught. What a great catch at the 27-yard line by Tate. Barnard knew where he was on the field, tiptoed the sidelines, brought it in. We got a player down for Heritage Hall. That's number 1, Trip Thomas, the defensive back. Again, just cramps. You could tell our training staff was going to give him a bottle of Gatorade and water and immediately start stretching him out, as you could kind of see that's going on. But Cliff, 3rd and 13, and we convert.
Yeah, great job of Cole just stepping up in the pocket, zipping it to his receiver, Barnard. And Barnard just tiptoeing around the sideline there, making the catch. As we do have a player that is cramping, as you see there on your screen. So big first down pickup for the Saints.
Hey, Prism Pools and Outdoors sponsoring our play of the game, and here it is from earlier tonight.
The Prism Pools and Outdoors play of the game.
Shiloh's gotten a little bit more tempo going here in the last two drives. Cole back to pass. Looks deep, fires it deep down the middle of the field. One-on-one, it's called by me to the 25. Stanley's feet to the 20, to the 15, racing to the quarter, 10, 5. He's in there, touchdown Shiloh. 4:43 to go in a quarter, and a bomb from Cole Creighton, 71 yards to Cohen Beach, and the Saints take the lead right back, Cliff, at 12-11.
This play of the game brought to you by Prism Pools and Outdoors.
As we come back, Max Eldridge right up the middle to the 15. Saints offensive line does a great job. They gash a huge hole in the Heritage Hall defense. Handoff Eldridge again, same play to the 10. Max to the 5, dragging defenders down to the 4-yard line. First and goal. Heritage will try to run some extra defensive line help off. I don't know if they're going to get it. They've got 12 guys on the field. They've got chaos going on right now for Heritage. Handoff right up the middle. Max touchdown. Well, they're going to stop at Cliff because they had too many men on the field. Boy, it was absolute chaos for Heritage Hall.
Substitution infraction on the defense. Half the distance to the goal line. Still first down.
So illegal participation, 12 men on the field. Heritage had run a player on, but nobody ran off, and they had two guys who were trying to turn and run off, but Saints tempo really got them going right there. Ball is at the 2-yard line. Eldridge is going to be to the left of Cole Creighton. Saints see if they can punch it in and go up 2 scores. Handoff Max coming this way. He's in trouble at the 5, breaks 1 tackle, spins, keeps fighting, dives to the end zone. He got in. Touchdown, Max Eldridge. I don't know how he did it, Cliff, but he got in the end zone for 6.
Well, I know how Max did it, Billy, and we watched it with our eyes here. You're watching it online. You're watching a kid, and we've seen it for a couple years now, that is just incredibly strong. He may be smaller in stature. He is so tough to get down, Max Eldridge is, and you just saw you've got to wrap him up and get him on the ground. You can't just bump him because he's so strong in his lower body. He takes the bump, keeps his legs moving, and as you saw there, just kind of waddles into the end zone for the 2-yard touchdown score.
Bad snap, but a great job by Bodenstein to grab it, and that Honeycutt's extra point is good. Saints go up 31-18 with 10:47 to go in the the fourth quarter. As you see, Max Eldridge is running, man. He was in trouble at the 6, broke a tackle, broke another tackle, just kept fighting. One of the tackles he got was Max Everett. So one Max couldn't get the other Max on the ground. 10:47 to go here in the fourth quarter. Saints with a lead.
That Saints scoring drive constructed by C.R. Crawford.
So Shiloh with the first 2-score lead of the night, 31-18, 10:47 to go here in the fourth quarter. And Cliff, that one felt big because now you're up 2 scores.
Absolutely. I mean, the safety, how big was that safety? I mean, I know it's only 2 points on the scoreboard, but it's 2 points and you get the ball. And Shiloh answered with a score after the safety. And you could just see this offense starting to click a little bit. Cole feeling comfortable with his receivers. And, man, if this Saint offense can start getting some production on the ground, which they did right there, 3 straight carries by Max Eldridge, 2 of them 11-yard runs each, and the 2-yard touchdown run.
Honeycutt's kick is taken by Everett at the 15 to the 20, and he's taken down at the 21, maybe the 22-yard line. Good job there by the Saints in kickoff coverage, and so making the tackle there for Shiloh is 47, Karsten Parks, sophomore, getting some playing time and making a tackle on special teams.
But with that touchdown run, Max Eldridge, 10 carries on the evening, 60 yards, 1 touchdown, so 6 yards per carry for the junior running back, junior linebacker, really kind of the junior everything. I mean, Max will do whatever the coaches ask him to do. He's just, some dudes are just gamers, and some guys are just ballers. And Max Eldridge definitely fits that mold. He is a footballer, comes from a football coaching family, and a great, great player.
So at the 21, Heritage Hall Trailing by double digits. Quarterback drilled as he throws it, fires it down the right side. Incomplete, intended over here for number 4, Porter England. Croft and Nance on the coverage. And Cliff, and one thing I've noticed here is we kind of got in the second half of this game. The changes by Coach Holly up front, we're getting a lot of pressure on the quarterback. I don't remember the last time he set his feet and threw the football.
Absolutely. They're getting a lot of pressure in the backfield. Again, the quarterback throwing off his heels, that's never a good sign. You want a quarterback to step up, almost like a pitcher, step up and make a strong, solid throw. Quarterback is kind of running for his life a little bit. He's been hit a little bit.
So at the 21, second down, Saints with that kind of stand-up look up front. They'll send a man in motion across the way. They're going to hand it this way. Coming is Eisner. He's going to get a couple up to the 23, maybe 24-yard line. Multiple guys in blue jerseys there. Brody Francis kind of leading the way. And it's going to bring up 3rd down and 8. And so kind of a desperate situation right here for Heritage Hall. They need a first down desperately as they trail by 2 scores with 10-14 to go here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, if you're the Chargers, you definitely do not want to give the ball back to Shiloh. All the momentum is on the Shiloh sidelines right now.
Empty backfield set. They're going to throw it out behind the receiver, incomplete. It was intended for number 2, Max Everett, but Lawson fired that one hard and behind this receiver. So 4th down, and it looks like Heritage Hall is going to have to punt with 9:52 to go here in the 4th quarter.
So the St. defense doing exactly what they needed to do. Backing it up a few plays. You've got a safety, leads to a touchdown. Now you've got a defensive stop. You're going to get the ball back here, barring a mistake.
There's a snap. Saints kind of come after it. Booming kick. Beach is going to fair catch it and make it at the 35-yard line. So Shiloh will take over at the 36. While we got a timeout, we'll take one as well. You're watching Shiloh Christian football.
I think you're really going to like this one. Oh, that's the one. Perfect.
At Bassett, we know furniture is very personal, so we only make our true custom upholstery when you found the perfect combination of design options, your very personal style and comfort. So it's a unique, one-of-a-kind, just for you look. Bassett, find your personal style.
Bassett Furniture, next to Target in Fayetteville. Go Saints!
Saints take over at their own 36-yard line with a 2-score lead, up 31-18 with 9:43, and this is where you like to kind of grind it out and run the football. So handing off Charlie Krell, and Charlie just having a rough night. He's taken down at the 31. There's a flag down right at the tackle spot, so we'll see where it was. If it's a hold on the Saints or something else, we'll see. Got a feeling it's against the Saints from the reaction of the Heritage Hall sideline there, so we'll see.
During the run, holding on the offense. That penalty is declined. 2nd down.
So Heritage declines the penalty. They'll take just the loss of yardage there and lose the down. Shiloh loses the down, so instead of 1st and whatever from the penalty, it's now 2nd from the Shiloh 31.
So Saints backed up. Creighton's blitz. He dumps it in the flat, intended for Charlie Krell. Well, Cole read that, fired it quickly to Krell, but I think Charlie was trying to run out, didn't see it, and so it's going to be quickly 3rd down and long. And we got an offensive lineman down for the Saints to go through. So big guys up front can go down as well. Madden Fields, a junior, 250-pound offensive lineman, is down as well. So Cliff, boy, you get this one, man. You hate to kind of waste this drive though. 31-18, as you had a 2-score lead for the first time, but so far going the wrong direction.
Yeah, need to get something going here on 3rd down, and you'd like to keep the pedal down. You know, you've got Heritage over the past several minutes on their heels. You're kind of tasting victory a little bit if you're Shiloh. And you could really taste it if you could get an extended drive here and put another score on the board. But again, you got two very, I would say, very identical teams on both sides of the ball here, and just sometimes you know, in a game like this, you're just not going to dominate the opponent like you'd like to. I mean, it's just like I said earlier, a heavyweight boxing match between two really good teams, and they're just taking blow after blow. And we'll see. Still have 9:22 left, so we'll see who's remaining standing when these final 9 minutes are up.
Well, as Cliff mentioned, 9:22 left. We will go back. If you think early in the third quarter, Heritage Hall on offense had to burn a timeout. Well, trailing at this point, that could be an important one as we get kind of the close of this football game. But right here, got to be smart. Even if you have to punt, that's not the end of the world. But you definitely don't want to turn it over. Back to pass, Creighton. Steps back. He gets hit hard as he throws down the sideline for Beach. He's got it to 30, and he's taken down at the 25-yard line. Cole gets up. He took a big hit. I think we got a player down for Heritage back at the 21. The young man's going to get up who actually hit Creighton. But so big first down for Beach all the way down to the 26-yard line, 43 yards for the Saints on. But more importantly, you convert a 3rd and long, and you wind up flipping the field and getting a whole bunch of yardage off of it. There's a snap, handoff coming this way. It's going to be Krell, I believe, on the carry. Yep, it was Charlie. He's down to about the 26-yard line, basically gets back to the line. Well, his knee's going down to 27, so a loss of 1 for Charlie. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 11.
Well, they have keyed in on number 4 tonight. Charlie's 9 carries, only 3 yards. He's gotten a few positive yards, and then he's gotten hit behind the line of scrimmage a lot. So he's had a tough night running the ball. They've really keyed in on him, this Charger defense has.
So Saints kind of taking a little bit of air out of it, trying to run a little bit of clock with a 2-score lead with 8:25 left to go. Creighton's going to hand off Eldridge. Max, big hole, 20, 15. Max still on his feet, and he's going to be hit and taken down around the 16-yard line. Heritage doing everything they can to try to strip it away, but nothing they could do at the 16. We got another player cramping up for Heritage Hall. He's going to try to get back up and play, but that was 24. Austin Elk, again, that sophomore out there. He's cramping up as well. Now you got another player who looks like he's gone down. They're trying to go through. Heritage really struggling on defense right now. You got guys with hands on hips trying to go. Saints tempo has finally kind of caught up to him a little bit here to go. Here's Eldridge right up the middle. Max to the 15, to the 10, cuts inside to the 5, and Max is down to the about 4, maybe the 3-yard line. Eldridge going to rip off 13 yards on that run, and it's going to be 1st and goal Saints at the 3-yard line. As Shiloh kind of wants to go the knockout punch here. If they could get 7, you could make this a 20-point game at the under 8-minute mark of the 4th quarter. There's a snap, handoff Max one more time, going right. Kind of leaps in the air. Saints pushing the pile. They get Eldridge down inside the 2. Max just kind of kept fighting, and the offensive line kept pushing. So a hard-earned 1.5 yards for Eldridge right there. Just inside the 2. Saint offense ready to go. Man in motion, handoff Eldridge one more time. He has a man on his back. That doesn't matter. Max spins away from it, and he's in the end zone. Touchdown, Shiloh. 7:25 to go, or 7:24 to go in the 4th quarter. And the Saints have pushed the lead out to 37-18 over the Heritage Hall Chargers. And Cliff, I don't want to call the knockout punch with 7 minutes left to go in the game, but you can definitely feel like Heritage Hall is kind of reeling right now.
Yeah, they really are. I mean, it's late in this game, 7:24 remaining. And we talked about this earlier in the game, just tempo. Lots of Heritage Hall players going both ways. How are they going to respond to that? The kick is up, and the kick is good. Here's the replay of the 2-yard run. You see a great block, and you see Max's a defensive player jumps on Max about the 2-yard line. That's not going to stop him. We talked about how strong he is, his lower body, and he just rides that defender into the end zone. But, man, this Coach Davis, Coach Widger, Coach Barnard, they are riding Max Eldridge on this running game. I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Max's last 7 carries. You have 4 of them that are 11-plus yards, and 3 are 2, 1, or 2, and 2 of those are touchdowns. So Max Eldridge has been the ground game. A little slow going early in the game. Again, this Charger defense keying in on number 4, Charlie Kroll, but they don't have an answer for number 0, Max Eldridge, on the ground.
That Saints scoring drive constructed by C.R. Crawford.
So Saints will kick it off from their own 40, up 38-18 over Heritage Hall, as Shiloh has a 3-score lead for the first time tonight, and the Saints have really kind of dominated since the midpoint of the third quarter of this game. There's the kick. It's a good one. It's going to be taken by Everett at the 13 to the 15 to the 20, straight up the field 25. Everett with a good return, and then he's going to be taken down hard by Brody Francis at the 35-yard line. So Brody slung him to the ground there. Everett with probably his best kickoff return of the night gets it out to the 35-yard line. 7:16 to go in the fourth quarter. Saints up 38-18 in this game. So, Cliff, one thing we've not really seen effectively out of Heritage Hall tonight is the deep pass. They've hit a couple guys over the middle that have gotten yardage, but now they're going to have to do something a little bit different on the offensive side.
Yeah, they really are, and the Saint secondary and the cornerbacks just need to be aware of that. Can't give up anything deep to the outside.
They're going to throw the quick slant over the middle, and boy, he's hit hard at the 40-yard line right there. Multiple Saint players just were all over that one, so second down coming up. Quarterback got hit pretty hard too. Miller made the stop at the 41. Gain of 5, second down.
Yeah, if you're Heritage Hall, I mean, approaching 6.5 minutes left in this game. They've got to go a little bit quicker than they've been going.
Quarterback in trouble. He fumbles the football. It's loose. Did he fall back on it? I think he did. Boy, great job there by Lawson. He got hit, fumbled the football, found a way to get it back as Miller with the sack. So that's going to back up Heritage Hall all the way back to their 32-yard line. 6:23 left to go, clock running. And, you know, Cliff, you feel like in a heavyweight fight, finally somebody lands the blow that the other one just can't overcome, and you kind of feel that's where Heritage is right now. They look really kind of wobbled on their last leg, but their offensive coordinator really frustrated trying to get them set right here to run a play. Third down, play clock's down to 9. Quick hitter right over the middle. They've had some success with that. It's Everett up to the 49-yard line, and that will be a first down. So Heritage kind of needed a play to keep themselves alive a little bit. They did it just there. As Everett makes the catch, Beckham Floyd on the stop at the 49-yard line, trying to get set, trips to the left for Lawson. There's a snap, back to pass, looking, rolling right, got some time, looking, fires, and it's caught at the 40. It's tripped Thomas down to the 35-yard line, knocked down. We'll see if he got out of bounds or not, but either way, it's going to stop the clock as a first down. So Heritage moving the chains. They've kind of got a couple big plays right here down the sideline a little bit. Let's send eyes are out. We'll go with empty backfield, 5 wide receivers. There's a snap, back to pass. Quarterback in trouble, just going to turn and throw it away. Again, it's good. He's out of the pocket, got it past the line of scrimmage. So it will be incomplete. Second down and 10. But Cliff, again, pressure. Quarterback really just can't set his feet. The Saint defensive line done a great job.
Yeah, well, and the linebacker, Corbin Miller, number 42, has just been a wrecking ball. Coming up the middle, he is in the backfield, hands up, jumping, hands extended every play. Quarterback's got to be frustrated with 42 and wants somebody to block him. Timeout called here by Shiloh. Stops the clock.
Timeout, Shiloh Christian. That is their first time out of the half.
I love this solid maple, and I love this finish. So is this the one? Absolutely.
At Bassett, we know furniture is very personal, so we only make our Benchmade collection when you find the perfect combination of design options, crafted of solid wood and made in the USA. So it's a unique, one-of-a-kind, just for you look. Bassett, find your personal style.
Bassett Furniture, next to Target in Fayetteville. Go Saints!
Welcome you back here to Champion Stadium. 5:24 left to go in the fourth quarter. Shiloh has pulled out to a 20-point lead, 30-18 over Heritage Hall. The Chargers have the ball at the Saint 35 with a second down and 10. Trying to kind of make their last gasp of effort to get back in the football game here. Got to have a touchdown, so it's 4 downs and out right here as they've gone empty backfield for the quarterback. Lawson steps up. He's going to run to the 35 to the 30. Lowers his head, gets down to the 29. He'll pick up 6. It'll bring up third down and 4 but you'll kind of take that. You gave up a few yards, but you made the quarterback scramble, burn some time, and not pick up a big gain. So 3rd down for the Saint defense. And clock just ticking away on Heritage Hall. Lawson going to fire it toward the end zone. It's going to be incomplete. Good coverage out there by the Saints. This is intended for number 4, Parker England. Good coverage for Shiloh out there by Cooper Croft, the senior. So it's going to bring up 4th down for Heritage. So 4:54 left to go. It's going to be 4th down, and this might be the last gasp for the Heritage Hall. Saints fans have made some noise. They have packed it out on a white out on the opening game of the 2026 season. Shiloh will be back at home next week to host Little Rock Christian. 4:55 left. Let's see what Heritage comes up with. Back to pass. He's going to fire an out route. It's going to be caught at the 19-yard line by the big wide receiver, number 1, Trip Thomas. So the junior keeps the game alive for Heritage, essentially right there with a 1st down at the 19. And they'll actually spot him all the way forward to the 18-yard line. Clock stops, so Heritage can kind of take their own little bit of breath right there to try to get a second with the clock not running here, as the quarterback Lawson will stay out of mostly the spread. This time they'll bring, looks like, Everett into the backfield to his right. Lawson back to pass, looks left, fires. It's going to be caught at the 15, then spinning and then taken down at the 11-yard line. Catch there by Porter England. Saints get him on the ground very quickly, so it's Fryer and Croft on the stop. So 2nd down and 4 at the Saint 12-yard line. Clock running, though. Heritage Hall at least is having to work for this points right here if they're going to get any on the board. Saints making them use a lot of time. Empty backfield for Lawson. There's a snap, has heavy pressure, gets away from it. Great job by Lawson, trying to break outside, gets an outstanding block and will score. Touchdown. Well, great job by Lawson. Tip your hat to him right there. Saints blitz, got pressure. He rolled out of the pocket and was able to run into the end zone for the touchdown. So the 6'4" senior made a big-time play right there, Cliff. Just got to tip your hat. Great play by the quarterback.
Yeah, Shiloh again getting pressure every play, getting in the backfield. Lawson, with the help of some blocks, as you said, to get kind of sealing the edge, and he sees that. He's a great quarterback, reads the field well, and he's able to see where the blocks are happening and where he has a lane to run through. He just turned it up to the end zone, puts points on the board, and keeps Heritage Hall kind of in this game here.
Oh, there's a false start by the right guard of Heritage Hall, so they'll back up 5 yards. Their kicker, Butler, got a big leg. It shouldn't be that big of a deal.
Offsides on the defense.
Well, they called offsides on the Saints.
Declined the penalty.
I think both sidelines are a little confused with that one, Cliff, but offsides is the call. Heritage Hall declines the penalty, so they'll just line up and kick the extra point. Really no major benefit by going for 2 at this point. You're going to need 2 touchdowns either way that goes, so extra point, and the snap is good, and the kick is good. Hits the top of the net and goes over the trees and lands in somebody's backyard back there. So 38-25 with 4:02 left to go here in the 4th quarter. So, Cliff, you got to cover an onside kick now. You got to feel like as the replay comes. Here's the run by the quarterback. Just a great job by their quarterback.
Yeah, the Saints had pressure, like I said, and quarterback able to get through the seam between 2 defenders. Lawson does a great job. He's played well tonight. I mean, he's just been under pressure at times, and I don't feel like he's really made mistakes or forced anything. But he has had some losses and taken some sacks and taken some big hits by the Saint defense.
While we've got a second, some sponsors of 2026 Shiloh Christian Football, legendary sponsors, Geosurfaces, Roush Companies, the Frame Family, Mr. Sparky, and Wright's Barbecue. Our elite sponsors, C.R. Crawford Construction, Chick-fil-A of Springdale. Our video board sponsors, Chick-fil-A, Roush Companies, Mr. Sparky, and Wright's Barbecue. Our visitors press box by Vantage 9 and Arvest. And our scoreboard signs, Reliable Poultry, Roush Companies, Quality Millwork, Advanced Primary Care. Some of our sponsors of Shiloh Christian Football. Well, we're going 4:02 left. Saints are going to have to defend the onside kick as it's coming from Heritage Hall Hill here with trailing by 13, 4 minutes left, two timeouts. So Heritage pretty much in a must-try situation right here. There's the onside kick. It's going to go out of bounds, so you'll take that. It goes out of bounds at the 44, so the Saints will take over and not have to field it. Great job. As Cliff, first game of the season, first time to have to field an onside kick. Saint defense does a great job with it. The hands team does their job.
Well, they really didn't have to do anything. The kick was
let it
going
roll
out of
out.
bounds. So hey, let's don't get anxious and try to touch this thing, and let's let it go out of bounds. Didn't get the hop that the kicker wanted, so Shiloh will have great field position. 4:02 remaining here in this game. Saints up 13. So you kind of feel like if you run a little clock here and let's put it in the end zone, you do put this game away. What you don't want to do is try to get too cute and lose yardage or turn the ball over here and keep Heritage Hall, keep them in the game here with just 4 minutes left.
So at the 46-yard line, Saints are going to hand it off right up the middle. Charlie Krell, Charlie to the 50, Charlie to the 45. He's still on his feet down to the 39-yard line, 39-yard line of Heritage Hall. Great job by the offensive line right there. So we kind of highlighted Coach Woodsher's pit crew earlier in the game, the offensive line, and they did their job right there. Down to the 39-yard line, and it's going to be a first down. Clock will start with 3:50, and the Saints going to take a little bit of air out of it right here and let some clock run off. Heritage Hall with 2 timeouts, but so the Saints can really run another 2 minutes off if Heritage didn't start using some timeouts here. Cole looking at the play clock. Just to the right of the south end zone, hands it off Charlie Krell. Charlie picking his way forward and doesn't get much. He may even have lost a yard right there. Kept kind of getting pinballed outside and just couldn't turn up the field. It's officially a loss of 1 for Charlie. So second down and 11. Clock rolling, 3:13 left. You got to feel like after this play, Heritage will probably start using their last 2 timeouts to try to keep this game alive. Saints will try to run about 40 more seconds off the clock in between plays. Play clock is at 18 right now, so hopefully Shiloh can manage this clock effectively and run as much time off as they possibly can. Clock 2:53. Play clock is under 10 now. There's a snap by Cole. He's going to roll right. There's a flag down, another flag down. Creighton just rolls down at the 38-yard line, so 2 flags down. I think Cole actually saw that and just said, let me go down here.
Illegal formation on the offense, 5-yard penalty.
Penalties in illegal formation.
Repeat second down.
Probably didn't have enough men on the line of scrimmage, so the 5 yards will back it up to the 44 with 2:45 left to go in the game. Clock will get wound and roll one more time. Heritage doesn't take a timeout, so it'll stay second down, and you don't want the penalty, Cliff, but that did run off a few more seconds of clock, so we'll kind of take that. Play clock's at 12 as the Saints will get set here. Heyman and Beach are out to the right, although you got to expect this is going to be a run. There's a handoff. Charlie picking his way forward. He falls forward to the 43. Their Heritage will use a timeout with 2:18 left, as you figured they would. So they'll use one after this third down play. Then Heritage Hall will be out of timeouts with 2:16 left to go in this game. So stick around with us in the post-game show. We'll have something new for you this year. We'll have the offensive player of the game and the defensive player of the game. And we're going to try to do some extra things in the post-game show for
Heritage
you this
Hall
year.
has
For the
one
Saints,
timeout
they
left.
38-25. So Cliff kind of summarized so far. First game of the season, got down early 2-0. Offense didn't do anything the first 2 drives, but then they really got it going. And the tempo, you could kind of tell offensively wore Heritage Hall down as this game went on.
Yeah, and we talked about that earlier in the game. That just want to see how the game played out. For both teams, but specifically for Heritage Hall with so many guys going both ways, and I do feel like just the pounding the Chargers have taken play after play after play, and the length of the game. I do think that kind of settled in here in the second half for the Chargers, but they don't need to hold their heads down at all. They played great, and I expect them to have a great season as they have for a lot of years in a row now, as we talked about. So it'll be interesting to keep up with the Chargers over the course of the season.
Creighton back to pass, looking, fires. It's caught, and smart play right there by Carell. He caught it at the 40, could have easily stepped out of bounds because that was the closest thing to do, but Charlie cut it back to the middle of the field, and that will make Heritage Hall burn their last timeout with exactly 2 minutes left to go in the game. So the clock will get to 1:59, but yeah, kind of forced them to use that timeout. Good smart thinking there by Charlie, kind of burned a little extra time.
Timeout, Heritage Hall.
So
That is your
4th
last
and 14,
timeout of
the
the
Saints
ball
will likely punt with 1:59 left. So we'll go down to Hal Ramsey, who's been joining us this week as our post game, and how the offensive line, really the tempo they've been able to keep maintaining this game, sort of wore down Heritage Hall.
They've really done a great job, especially as a group that's only played for their first game together. You really can't ask for much more, and it'll be fun watching the rest of the season as they continue to develop and play together.
So Saints with the lead, 38-25, 1:59 left. Shiloh will punt, and so Cliff, we kind of look a little bit forward to next week, and we talk more about this in our post-game show, but Little Rock Christian comes in, and in a season where 7 of your 10 opponents you've never played before, know a little bit about Little Rock Christian next week.
Yeah, we've had some great games over the past few years against Little Rock Christian. Get them on our turf next week. They will bring a very, very good team up here. I mean, we were talking earlier just about how our non-conference schedule, there are no cupcakes. Like it starts tonight for real with Heritage Hall, and then it's next week for real with Little Rock Christian. High snap, Cole gets the punt off.
Well, now you got to go cover. It's Everett at the 12. Great job by the Saints in coverage as Everett is tripped up and taken down right at the spot. Well, that's exactly what you wanted. No return. So speaking, Cliff, of that Little Rock Christian team, they are playing Harding Academy tonight, and the Warriors are rolling. They're up 45-6 in the 4th quarter. So they will come in 1-0 next week. As to go through a couple other scores, Springdale and Muskogee, Oklahoma are tied at 13-13 in the 4th quarter. Bryant leads Benton 42-14 in the 4th quarter. And then Bentonville's up 24-7 over Tulsa Union in the 4th quarter of that one. So here at the own 11-yard line, last chance for Heritage Hall. They got to have a touchdown, and they got to have it in a hurry. Lawson back to pass, fires over the middle. It's going to be caught on the slant route up to the 32, 33-yard line. So they went to what's been effective for them tonight as Everett makes the catch. It's going to be a first down. Heritage will go as fast as tempo as they possibly can here as the clock rolls with 1:40 left to go in the game. Back to pass, looking quick out route is going to be caught, makes a man miss, and then pushed out of bounds at the 36-yard line as Thomas. He gets a couple extra yards up to the 37-yard line with 1:33 left to go in the football game. Heritage does get the clock stopped, which they have no timeout, so getting out of bounds and stopped on first downs are the only way they're going to get anything. With the clock stopped, Thomas kind of shaking his hand over here, not sure if he hit it on a helmet or what happened to him there. So it's going to be first down. Well, it's going to be 2nd and 1. Quarterback's going to throw it deep. He's got a man wide open to the 30, the 25, Thomas to the 20, and then he's taken down out of bounds at the 16-yard line. Boy, a mistake there by the Saint defense, and they get Thomas all the way down to the 16-yard line. He is injured as he's kind of fallen out of bounds around the 16-yard line. There's also a flag in the backfield at the 38-yard line, and Cliff, I didn't quite see where he threw the football. Do you think it maybe was past the line of scrimmage? Not really quite sure.
Well, Heritage Hall's coming back.
That illegal forward pass on the offense. That's a 5-yard penalty and a loss of down.
Okay, that's what it was. He was past the line of scrimmage, and it was close, but the quarterback, Lawson, 6'4", and all you have to do is have a foot on the line as you throw it, so wondered if he was close enough. But the play's going to come back as he got through, so maybe that's part of the reason he'd got behind the defense a little bit. The Saints thought he was taking off running because he was past the line of scrimmage. So 1:21 left to go, so 2nd down and 1 is going to be a loss of down for Heritage Hall. It's going to be 3rd down now with 1:21 left to go in the football game. Trip Thomas was the kind of laying closer to the sidelines. He fell down over there, kind of looking the way he walked. Maybe was maybe just a cramp. Thomas has played both ways tonight, as several of the Heritage players are kind of walking off the sideline gingerly. So they will send in a new wide receiver for them. It's Grant Sullivan, a junior, will be the replacement for Thomas as he kind of walks off down on that end of the field. 1:21 left, 38-25 Saints. As Heritage will have a 3rd down and 6 from just outside their own 30-yard line. No timeouts for Heritage Hall. They're going to have to get a whole bunch of yards in a hurry here. Lawson, the quarterback, takes the snap, looks, going to step up and try to run. He stays lateral of the line of scrimmage. It's caught at the 49-yard line. Beckham Floyd makes the stop, but it's going to be a 1st down reception there by number 7, Kobe White, right at the midfield stripe. Great job by the quarterback, Lawson, straddling that line of scrimmage and not getting past it this time as he completes it to White and gives him a 1st down. 1:04 left to go in the game. Lawson steps up in the pocket, looking, fires. It's bobbled and incomplete at the 47-yard line. Everett was the intended receiver right there, so number 2. Really kind of fortunate for Heritage right there that they kind of dropped that one, Cliff, because if he does, it eats some more time off the clock.
Yeah, not much of a gain there, even if he had come down with the ball, like you said. Clock would have kept running, but the incompletion does stop it just right under a minute. And so Heritage tried to make something out of the end of this game and do it quickly.
So ball right at midfield. For Lawson, steps up in the pocket, going to throw, out route caught, and they kept Thomas in bounds at the 41-yard line. Saints kind of chop him down, but, well, they gave him the 1st down, so that stops the clock.
Well, I thought he was about a good yard short of the marker there.
Generous spot, but it's going to work out for Heritage Hall. Clock goes again, 46 seconds. Lawson back to pass, looking, in trouble, just turns and throws this one in the direction of receiver. Oh my goodness, he fell all the way into the sidewall over there. Hope he's okay. Yeah, Thomas jumps up, thankfully. And he didn't fall into the big white guys over there in the white jerseys, unfortunately for him. So hit that back wall. So incomplete. Good job by Lawson. Didn't have anything there. Just threw that away. So ball's at the 40. 39.6 seconds left. Heritage Hall trying to come up with a quick touchdown as they trail by 13, 38-25. They'll send 3 wide receivers to the left, and it's going to be an empty backfield for Lawson. Saints show 3 guys are rushed. They're going to run a screen this way. It's caught at the 35, pushes his way forward to the 34, but that's well short of the 1st down, and that's great news for the Saints because that keeps the clock rolling. 28 seconds left. Max Eldridge makes the stop. 22 seconds left. Heritage is going to have to throw it for the end zone right here. They're trying to get lined up and get set. They do get set. Back to passes. The quarterback, 12 seconds left to go in the game. Kimbrough's chasing him. He's going to turn and fire it complete. It's out of bounds to trip Thomas at the 26-yard line. Thomas has had a good night, but the clock down to 7 seconds left to go in the game, and that really all should do it. Is Heritage Hall, even if they throw it to the end zone and complete it here, still wouldn't have enough time really to do anything else left to go in this game. So again, stick around after this game. We'll have our post game with our offensive and defensive players of the game, and Cliff and I will kind of give us a preview as Little Rock Christian comes to town next week, as the Saints are going to be 1-0 with 7.1 seconds left to go in this one. 38-25. As the quarterback drops back to pass, he'll just turn and chunk it to the end zone, and it's going to be nearly intercepted at the 2-yard line. Throws it up there, and it looks like we've got Thomas down again. I hope he's not cramping again. But the clock actually ran out as Thomas is down at the 1. Hopefully, Cliff, it's just exhaustion. Let's see if they're going to put any time back on the clock or not.
Please put 1/2 of a second on the clock.
So the official's going to put a 1/2 second back on the clock with 38-25. So Heritage Hall will have one more opportunity to chunk this one to the end zone on what will definitely be the final play of this game. 38-25 to go in the football game. But give Coach Bogert and his team a lot of credit, Cliff. They're a really good football team, and it wouldn't shock me if 3A state champions in Oklahoma are across the field from us right now. So at the 26 will be the final play, 38-25. They're going to throw the quick hitter. It's going to be caught by Everett at the 15. He stumbles at the 10 and then takes a hit and is going to be downed at the 11-yard line. That will end this football game as the Chargers will end it at the 11-yard line. Shiloh moves to 1-0 on the year with a 38-25 victory as they trailed 18-15 at the half, but the Saints outscore the Chargers by 20-7 mark in the second half. And Cliff, you got some stats and numbers for us over there.
Yeah, Cole Creighton passing the ball, leading the offense. The senior quarterback, 21-29 for 295 yards, 1 touchdown. He had 7 rushes for 38 yards and a rushing touchdown as well. So good numbers there for your senior quarterback. Leading receiver, Cohen Beach, senior receiver, committed to University of Central Arkansas. 4 receptions, 122 yards and a touchdown. Had 2 big catches, a 71-yarder and a 43-yarder. So great job by the senior receiver, Cohen Beach there. And leading rusher, Max Eldridge, came on a little later in the game. Mainly used on the defensive side early, but boy, you really saw him. Coaches made some adjustments, and not only did he stay on the defensive side, but he produced on the offensive side as well, carrying the ball, 14 rushes, 87 hard yards, 2 touchdowns for the junior running back / linebacker.
So we've got 2 special things for you this year. We'll have an offensive and a defensive player of the game. Our offensive player of the game for Mr. Sparky this week will be senior quarterback Cole Creighton, as Cliff just gave you his numbers on that. Had a big touchdown pass as Cole on offensively went 21-29, just under 300 yards in the air, and then added it. If you take the rushing yards, he'll add those 2, and then the defensive player of the game, Corbin Miller. Hey, that's a name that we are used to. So number 42, you see Corbin Miller on our screen there, our defensive player of the game for the Saints. He had that big sack safety that kind of got that safety back for us. And, you know, Cliff, that was the first points of the game, was a safety by Heritage Hall that made it 2-0. But I really thought at the second half of this game, felt like our defensive line and offensive lines up front really took over. Heavy pressure on the quarterback from the defensive side. On the flip side of the offensive side of the football, really were able to run the ball effectively, particularly in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I tell you, when Shiloh got better offensively is when we started running the ball. And I know Coach Barnard knows that, Coach Widger knows that, Coach Davis knows that. They preach that, they work on that. Just took us a little bit of time to get going tonight, but they did a great job, that offensive line, in the trenches, creating some holes and allowing, you see right there, Coach Barnard talking and just kind of recapping the game a little bit. But Max Eldridge, I mean, just look how thick that kid is, number 0. He is a hoss, and he was a hoss on the ground for the Saints. Again, 14 carries, 87 yards, 2 touchdowns. And like I said, he came on strong on the ground when Shiloh needed it. Shiloh needed some ground game, and he provided. You know, Cole's going to get his yards in the air, and he did it tonight. Corbin Miller and the whole defensive unit, I mean, boy, that second half, they were in the backfield all over Lawson, creating havoc. And Corbin Miller, one of the leading tacklers returning from last season, picking up where he left off, did a great job tonight.
Well, hey, we told you we were trying to add some extra things. We've had Hal Ramsey helping us down the field. He's got Corbin Miller with us down, and Corbin, our defensive player of the game. So, Hal, we're going to kick it down to you with Corbin and Cole Creighton.
Hey, guys, just want to say great game and just wanted to get your thoughts on tonight's game.
What'd you say?
Just wanted to get your thoughts on tonight's game.
I think the team played great. I mean, no team can be good if everyone on the field's not playing like their life depends on it, and we sure play like our life depends on it. I'm just super proud of these group of guys. I love them, and I'd give my life up for them.
Awesome.
I mean, just to bounce back on what he said, I mean, football's back. I mean, I think we did a very good job. Slow start for the offense, but super proud of everybody. Everybody's really coachable. Offensive linemen, great job. Receivers, great job. And our coaches did a really good job adjusting.
Yeah, guys, congratulations. Good luck against LRCA next week. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Hal, for that. Our Corbin Miller and Cole Creighton, our offensive and defensive players of the week this week as the Saints start the season 1-0 with a 38-25 win over Heritage Hall from Oklahoma City. And so, Cliff, Final thoughts, we're 1-0. Little Rock Christian comes to town next week.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you want to be. If you're playing football tonight, you want to be 1-0 after first game of the season. Obviously, there's some things to correct. Coaches will work with the team this week. They will improve. We will look better next week in the areas that maybe they didn't look as well tonight. But you're 1-0. That's what you want to be. You've got Little Rock Christian coming in, formidable opponent. We've had some great games the past several years against Little Rock Christian. Last year, a 44-13 win. That's a big win for Shiloh. 2 years ago, just a crazy game, back and forth, 44-40 Shiloh win. 3 years ago, Shiloh win 43-22. You have to go back to 2022 for the Little Rock Christian team to come up here and beat Shiloh 49-14. But the last 3 years have belonged to the Saints, and they played well. But the games, even though the scores may be a little lopsided, it doesn't dictate or really tell the whole story of what that series has been like. It's been very competitive, and you're going to see two very good teams coached very well. A lot of athletes on the field next week, and we hope that all Shiloh Saint fans will come out here. I can't guarantee it's going to be 72, but I'd like to say that. So let's just pretend like it is, and let's have another good week next week.
Well, for Cliff Anderson and Brian Dunaway and his great crew, we thank you for joining us tonight. Final score, Saints are 1-0 on the year as they beat the Heritage Hall Chargers 38-25. Good night, everybody, and we'll see you next week.